Good morning, everyone. I am a little bit early, but I am starting a little bit late today. I don't know why 11:30 today. One of those things. I was like, I'm going to get up later tomorrow. And I did. And Shiana then sat on my lap for half an hour, which was lovely. So, when you're trapped under a cat, you can't move them. So, yes. How is everybody? There is 12 of us here. 8 of us here. That dropped quickly. I have no idea what I'm going to do today. 5, and I've just had an email to say that I've gone live, so that's good. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to do today. I was thinking maybe going through some patterns because excitingly, I've only got 2 of my Make 9 left, and one of those is cut out ready to sew. So I was thinking maybe we could go through some of my patterns and maybe have like an idea, sort of like a kind of chat about maybe what you would like to see if you've got any ideas for next year's Make 9. I'm wearing my Butterick 5951 today, which is the kind of like 1940s style dress. And this is the Hawthorne cardigan that Mum knit for me in the height of summer. So you haven't seen this one before. It's in a plum coloured wool. Hi, Nimoy. Plum coloured wool. It's the same as the green one that she's just finished knitting for me in the peridot colour. It's the same type of wool, sublime. And I keep wanting to say malachite, but it's not. It's a kind of, it begins with an M and it means plum. But I specifically bought this wool to go with the mulberry Cobra Corsage. And it's not mulberry, I think it looks lovely. So yes, definitely considering buying some of the mulberry Cobra Corsage on the Chloe Chambray, the linen viscose mix. Because this is the viscose, the plain viscose, and I've made a brouillere shirt, a 3/4 circle skirt, and this dress out of it. And I'm thinking a shirt dress in the linen chambray might be nice. But I did promise you guys no more Cobra Corsage this year. I don't know. What do you think? Elena says, hello, lovely Shan and Peeps. Hello. Diana says, hello, Peeps. Hi, Shan. Hope you're well. It's getting hot here in South Africa now, so I want to sew all the summer things. I am so jealous. I'm so jealous. If I ever win the lottery, which I do keep buying tickets for, by the way, but if I ever do win the lottery, I'm totally carrying on with the channel. I'm just going to hire an editor so that I don't have to edit, although I did very much enjoy editing that video yesterday. That was fun. But yeah, I'm going to follow the summer around the world and then go and see some snow for a couple of weeks at Christmas time in like Aspen or something. Yeah, that would be, and I would offset my carbon footprint for all my travel every time I travel, because there are companies that do that now, which is wonderful. So yeah, if I ever win the lottery, then I'm going to follow the summer around the world. And I love South Africa. I loved Cape Town. It was so wonderful. Saskia says, hi, everyone. Hello. Michelle says, good morning, Peeps. Good morning. How is it in Bermuda today? Kathleen says, good morning from Illinois. Was just watching a bit of the Queen's Cortege heading to Edinburgh. I'm part Scottish and it's great to see the lovely countryside. It is. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Michelle says, Shan, all of your beautiful cardigans are making me long for winter weather. I can't really wear warm clothes until late October, early November, but that cardi is gorgeous, isn't it just? Yes, yes. Mum is very, very talented and very, very kind to knit for me as much as she does. I have an entire wardrobe full of stuff that Mum has knit for me, and I have a yarn stash that is quite large considering that I knit nothing. Well, I mean, I can knit, but I've knit 2 scarves. And even one of those I got bored and turned it into a snood. Yeah. Nimue says, there isn't that much left of this year, so prep your stash for next year. Well, what I was thinking was, sorry, I got distracted. I told you what I was wearing and then got distracted, didn't I? What I was thinking was, would you guys be interested in helping me pick my Make 9 patterns for next year? Because I have a few ideas and I wanted to sort of like run it past you. I know I've mentioned them before, but yeah, I thought thought maybe we could come up with something that would interest me concept-wise, like this one has. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Lisa says, good morning, Shan. I hope you're well. Sending love to you and all the chat from sunny Devon. Hello, Lisa. Welcome. Cecilia says, hello, Peeps and Shan. Hello. Caroline is here. Good morning, everyone. Morning. Desi says, hi from Outback in Australia. Good evening. Michelle says, Bermuda is humid but slightly cooler since our first hurricane last week, but still summer standards, flip-flops and sundresses rule for a few more months. So nice. Saskia says, oh, that should be fun. Pattern hunting. Good. Because I have still got 2 full projects and 1 front trouser leg cut out, but I can't sew one of them because it's the super secret squirrel project that I've signed an NDA for and I can't show you yet. And the other one is the Myosotis, the Forget-Me-Not dress, which I want to do a video for. And one thing that I do want to do today is unpick the tiny little bit in the channel on the Licorice dress and put in some new elastic, because I put in elastic that was 28 inches, which is my waist measurement, and it's not great. I want it to, so I'm going to put in 25-inch elastic, which is 3 inches smaller than my waist measurement, so it's really going to suck it in. So I do want to do that with you today. I really like the Licorice dress. Let me show you. The video is coming soon. But look how pretty. Doesn't it look really long in the torso? It looks kind of 1920s actually. It is 17 inches and it does blouse really nicely at the top. But like I say, the channel here, the elastic that I put in is, I've tried to shorten it, but I couldn't find the join. So I just made another join, and it's kind of, yeah, I want to just take this elastic out and put new elastic in. But I love this dress. And the hem is doing many biasy things. Oh, we could make some bias binding because I did cut the little bit of that I had left of this up for bias binding. But I really, really like this dress. Really like it. Let's put that in the background. So a little bit of that on show. That video will be coming out to you guys, I promise. That's the that was my thinking was that it was just, obviously it was a different video because it's a different pattern and a different fabric, but it was the same format as the orchid dress, because it was just one of those ones where it was like, I'm not teaching you how to make this thing. It's not a sew along. So yeah, so many people have been asking where the sew alongs are and there will be more coming. It's just that they are so much work to do. I still have my pile of patterns over there that need to be done for sew alongs, and I have got my list in my diary of outstanding sew alongs and ones that need to be done. So I have got the list, but they just take so long to do, and they actually don't do very well, which I understand, because, like, you know, who's going to watch an hour and a half long video of something that they're never going to make? I get it. They do kind of well over time, but they don't do very well as like a kind of like weekend video. So what I'm thinking going forward is I'm going to try and do one every couple of months, and I will put them out, but I probably won't put them out as a weekend video. There might be like an extra video that goes out on a Monday so that they're there. The Vogue 9076, totally doing, you know, the one with the 70s dress of dreams I've made 2 of so far. The last one, I was going to wear that today actually. It was a toss up between this dress and that dress. But yeah, I am going to make another one of those. It's slated to go up in December. And it's just, I get it. Like I said, I get it. It is a really long video to watch if it's not something that you're interested in. And I'm thinking that maybe I ought to, because I used to separate them out into parts, and I'm thinking maybe what I ought to do is separate out the pattern review so that that's its own video by itself, because the other thing that the algorithm doesn't like is when people only watch a small part of the video and then go away. And with putting the reviews at the beginning of the video, people are watching sort of 10 minutes of an hour and a half long video and then clicking off when they don't want to watch like the making of it, which I get. So what I'm thinking is I will put out the sew-alongs in 2 parts on the same day, or maybe a day, you know, like the review on the first day and then the sew-along, or maybe the review on like the Friday and then the sew-along come on the Monday, but do it that way. I haven't catched up with the chat yet, but Sue's just said chapter markers are good. Yes, I will always do chapter markers, but like I say, the algorithm doesn't like it when you are putting out a really long video and some people are only watching a tiny portion of it. So I'm thinking that that's maybe what I'll do, is separate out like the review part and then put the sew along part separate and put them in a playlist together, with chapters in the sew along. But I think maybe that's what I'll do, because like I say, people have been asking for sew along videos, and I know some of you just put on whatever I put out and like watch it in the background, which is amazing of you, really, really amazing of you. But there's so much work and they don't do that well. The little mini tutorials that come out of them do much, much better. So yeah, I've been tweaking and playing around with my formats and schedules and all that sort of stuff this year, and it's been really successful, I think. Once I finally got it all sorted out in sort of like May, June time. I think June was when it all started going properly. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, let me catch up with the chat and let's see what you guys are thinking. Nimoy says, I met I've missed a bit. Oh, Nimue says that she meant in regards to buying more Cobra Corsage. You're only promised no more this year. Always up for picking patterns. Yeah, that was buying more of the Cobra. I'm hopefully going to Lady McElroy on the 29th of September. I need to book an appointment to do that. I'm picking up some denim that I've already bought. I would like some more of the cream suiting for the jacket, because you guys have just made me think of a whole Bianca Jagger style suit with that. So yeah. Sue says, hi Shan, just finished watching the jumper video, loved it. Mother. Mum's away at the moment. She's mum started a new job, and I'll let her tell you a little bit more about it when she comes back, but it's like the training weekend this weekend, so she's been away and she comes back this evening. So I don't know if she's watched that video yet, but yeah, she left it very messy on the inside. Susan says, morning, hope everyone is well. Very well, thank you. Nimue says, very cute dress. Elena says, it's so pretty, thank you. Tristan says, good morning, good morning. Lisa says, Shan, I have a question. When making a skirt cut on the bias in viscose, how long should you let it hang before leveling it up and hemming, please? I usually give it at least a week. I know they say 24 hours, but I have leveled a hem before after 24 hours and it's dropped again on me. So I like to give it at least a week, which is why this one is hanging up. If I had put this video out yesterday, I'd have done the 12s without hemming it and told you guys that that's what I was going to do. So yeah, at least a week. The longest I've ever left a skirt was 6 months. That one, once leveled, has never dropped again. So, you know, there is that, but I wouldn't recommend leaving it that long. Oh, I know what else I meant to do. I meant to go through the downstairs wardrobe and bring down all my UFOs that are in the cupboard there. Maybe I'll go and get those in a second. I'm all over the place today. So yeah, at least a week. At least a week. Sue says, read that one. Sue says, I like the mini tutorials too. Me too. And they do really, really, really well. And I get it, because it's like if you're looking for a specific piece of information and you have to go through a really long video, even with chapters or the mini tutorial, you're always going to go to the mini tutorial, aren't you? I get it. I get it. And they can be applied to everything rather than just the specific pattern that they've been taken from. So yeah. Resuke says, hi all, feeling quite horrible at the moment, so happy to hear some happy chat. Many gentle hugs for you, Rensuke. Many gentle hugs. Lisa says to Rensuke, sending you a big hug and virtual hot chocolate with whipped cream and marshmallows. Ooh, yummy. I've eaten all my hotel chocolat ones. My next order is coming, or is placed on the 13th of the month, so I've got to wait a little while for my next hot chocolate. Nicola says, morning, about to cut a Zadie jumpsuit for my 50th birthday in black sparkly fabric. Ooh, that's fabulous. Sinead says, hello peeps, Sinead from Cape Town. Hello, lovely, how are you? Rinsko says, thank you to Lisa. Sue says, chapter markers are good. Yes, and I will continue to do chapter markers on my really long videos, I promise. Lisa says, Sean, I have a question. I have read that one out, haven't I? Did I? Oh, yes, you have put that twice. That's fine. Sue says, learnt so much from the mini technique tutorials, and I will keep adding to that list whenever I do something that's new to me. Like somebody asked about the rouleau loop buttonholes on the orchid dress, and I do want to make another orchid dress with the tweaks I've made to the waistband. So I'm thinking I'll show you my thoughts behind changing something from cord into rouleau loops and positioning it, and how I make sure that they all get into. Was that you, Sue? Yes, I am going to be doing that video because I do want to make another orchid dress, and that would be the perfect little bit technique to take from that to do that. Trisha says, morning, Sean and Peeps. Good morning. And says, oh, Anne Kristen, sorry, says, I enjoy watching long sewing videos, much better than watching TV. Greetings from Germany. Hello, good afternoon. That's good to know. And, like I say, I do get that, some people enjoy sticking on a really long video just listening to me waffle, but I do completely understand that the sew-alongs are not for everybody, especially if you've got no interest in making the thing. I get that. I do get that. So yeah, I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do, is split them back up into 2 parts, but review and then sew along, so that you can watch the review to decide if you want to make the thing, and then if you do, then you have the sew along there. That's what I'm thinking. Monica, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sean. Sean, what dress are you wearing? You look lovely today, and I love your sew-alongs. Thank you. I am wearing the Butterick 5951, which there's a sew-along for, and the Hawthorne cardigan that my mum has knit for me to go with the Cobra Corsage specifically, and just how beautifully these go together. So lovely. Trisha says, love your cardi. The pattern and colour are gorgeous, aren't they? Yes. 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 Kim Hargreaves, and I think it's one that Mum really enjoys knitting because there's so much interest in it, and she knows it so well now as well. Although Mum is currently knitting Big Bird's Christmas birthday present, and it's a Kim Hargreaves pattern that we picked the wool out for when we were at the Festival of Quilts. Let's see. Sarah says, good morning from sunny South London. Good morning. Lisa says, a week. Brilliant. Thank you, Sean. No worries at all. That's just my preference. Angelina says, good evening, Sean and Peeps from chilly Victoria, Australia. What about live sew-alongs a couple of times a year, preparing beforehand and following while you sew? I have thought about that, but Lisa Comfort does it, and also Rachel does it, and they do it really, really well. And I don't know. I really enjoy this. I enjoy sort of like, because I mean, it's got to be obvious. There's been a few times where I've tried to sew things when we've been hanging out online, and I get a little bit done. But I mean, the one time that I did specifically try and finish garments was the Sirocco jumpsuit, which is springing to mind, and it ended up taking me 8 hours. And yeah, there are other people that do it better, and I like the chatty bit with you, and I enjoy this. I don't want to have to try and concentrate at the same time. Not 100% ruling it out though, but that's my thoughts on it. Makey says, morning all. Good morning. Chris says, hi Sean, does Cobra Corsage come in a stretch fabric? It does indeed. Viscose, jersey, and the Loretta Lawn, which is a viscose, and it has a slight stretch to it. I made my Eve dress out of the Noir colorway, and the colorway on that one actually is a really, for a natural fiber fabric, all the viscoses hold the colorway really well, especially the darker ones. And the Candace Drill is a stretch kind of denim type fabric, and what did I say? Viscose jersey, scuba, Loretta Lawn, and Candice drill. So the scuba and the viscose jersey are the super stretchy ones, and then the Loretta Lawn and the Candice drill are wovens with stretch in them. There you go. See, look, I should work for Lady McElroy, shouldn't I? Sue says that was me. Yeah, that about the button rouleau loop tutorial. It is going to happen. I don't know when I'll be making my next orchid dress, but I will be making another one. Lisa says, Sean, have you ever thought of doing a series of videos on dressmaking for absolute beginners like myself? Would happy to pay to watch those. Oh, there's so many companies out there that already do that. And I mean, what kind of thing would you like to see, Lisa? What kind of thing would you like to see? Because the reason I'm hesitant about doing it is because I'm self-taught and I'm kind of like, I'm worried that I'll skip over things or not do the proper basics because it's just ingrained now. I don't know, because I've never been taught how to sew. I've taught myself. And I mean, I remember jumping in with my little Singer Featherweight too, the plastic one, the newer, like the modern model, and silk charmeuse from John Lewis and a blunt needle as my first proper foray back into sewing as an adult. And, you know, obviously getting everything wrong. Yeah, Lisa says short beginner dressmaking videos would be amazing. How to fit the pattern to your body, etc. See, again, that I'm not going to be great at because I can fit a pattern to my body, but I wouldn't be able to give you advice on other things. What I can suggest, sorry, I just read that Sue said at the bottom there, you are very thorough when you do tutorials, Sean. What I can suggest is like my McCall's 8167 dress that I did. That is a really easy beginner's pattern because the only bit that you really need to have fit you is your shoulder seams. I love the idea of it, but the reason I'm like I said, the reason I'm reluctant is because I'm not a teacher in that I've not been taught how to teach, and there is an art to doing that. And I, as I say, taught myself to sew, so I don't know the things that I don't know, kind of thing. So I wouldn't want to necessarily put the wrong kind of information out. The reason I do the sew alongs the way I do is that it was it's because it's how I sew the thing. So yeah, as Sue's just asking if she can recommend some channels, definitely. But I would highly recommend Anika's channel, which I can't remember the name of it. What's Anika's channel called? Oh, I can remember her name, can't remember the name of the channel. I know there's Stitch School, Lisa Comfort Stitch School. What's Anika's channel called? It's gonna really bug me now. Anika. So it's not so essential. Made to Sew, thank you. I highly recommend Anika, Made to Sew. She is a teacher. She's really good at it. So yeah, highly recommend that one. Sue saying that Stitch School, Sew Over a Stitch School has some great tutorials. It's a pay monthly fee, but not too expensive. I agree, something like that. I mean, the reason that I don't do it is because there are already people who are experts in the industry doing it and doing it really well. And I know you said you'd be happy to pay me for it, but like I say, I'm sure there's a giant bunch of stuff that I just don't know. And I wouldn't want to teach you incorrectly. Not that, I mean, I always say that there's no wrong or right way of doing anything. If you end up with results that you like, however you got there is the correct way of doing it. But yeah, I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form. I'm fumbling my way through this. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to do with this channel, is be like, look, if I can teach myself, so can you. And these are the things that I've learned. But I wouldn't want to do a basic 101. This is I mean, I paid for a correspondence sewing course, and the first thing that they asked me to do was sew straight lines onto lined paper. And I thought, well, why the hell would you do that? And you do that so that, because the point is that you don't watch the needle, you watch where you're sewing, and sewing in straight lines, it was helpful. But yeah, yeah. Does that, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, Lisa. And like, you know, if you have specific things that you want to know, like how long to leave a hem to drop and things like that, like just ask. And if you're not in the KB Peeps group, join the KB Peeps group on Facebook, because we, you know, are a font of all knowledge. Somebody in there will know the answer to the question you're asking. But I kind of hope that makes sense. I wouldn't want to charge people for a course that I wouldn't be 100% confident in. I mean, maybe I should be, I don't know, but that's kind of how I think about it. Nimue says, I enjoy the long sew alongs for entertainment, but the short technique videos are more useful when I'm struggling with something. I've also recommended them to others seeking help more than once. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think my idea for the sew alongs going forward is going to be a good one. And I think what I'm going to try and do, like I say, is get them out once every couple of months, because they are giant undertakings. Not that I'm complaining whatsoever. It's just that there's so much work for not so much return, as it were, from the financial side of things. But I do appreciate that you guys enjoy them and want them. So I'm going to try and strike a happy balance between those. Tristan says, I love sew along videos because they give me hope that I could one day successfully sew something. Also, I have ideas of what to sew. Oh, awesome. And yeah, like totally. Like I say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like, yeah. Shanae says, your mum is awesome to knit you all your amazing cardigans and jumpers. I know, how lucky am I? This is a natural fibre. There is some mohair in here, I think. It's mohair. So, and my dress sleeves come to here, so this little bit of my arm is a little bit like but it's worth it. I'm grinning and bearing. Sue says, yes, I recommended KB to many sewers when they hit a problem. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you're finding it helpful. Elena says, sewing hangouts equals Shan get only 4 darts done. Exactly. I would be terrible doing a live sew along. We'd be here all day. I do at some point want to do a 24-hour live hangout for charity. I need to work out the logistics of that a little bit, and it could be hilarious, and obviously I would need many snacks. But yeah, at some point I would do, so during that I would like either completely reorganize my fabric stash, or we would catalog my pattern stash or something like that. But at some point I would like to do a 24-hour live hangout for charity, and I think that could be really fun. Carolyn says, hello sweet peeps, I agree with Nimue. Thank you. Sue says, you're very thorough and you do tutorial. I've read that one, haven't I? And can I recommend one for Lisa? Which you did. Desi says, I like that you are self-taught. So am I. That's why I enjoy your channel so much. Oh, thank you. Susan's here. Made to sew. Thank you, Susan. Yes, Anika's channel is amazing. Anika is lovely. Absolutely lovely. I was supposed to be visiting her in Australia, and that would have been the first time I met her, because Lorianne met her when she came on her first UK tour. And then we were meant to go to Australia together, but I mean, I thought I would be having surgery, and then other things happened. So yes. Sue says, sew over at Stitch School has some good tutorials, and it's a monthly fee but not too expensive. Now I genuinely think something like that would be By Hand London do fitting webinars as well, and these are people that have had training in it, so that they know all the things, and they know what works for them, what doesn't, whereas I, like I say, don't know what I don't know. So yeah. Carolyn says, love KB And Professor Pincushion. Ah, yes, yes, Professor Pincushion. Very good idea. Sue says, and you get free patterns for the sew-alongs. Sue also says, love made to sew. Susan says, Sean, you have mad skills and amazing attention to detail. Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. Carolyn says, Professor Pincushion. Yes. Sue says, she taught me princess seams. Awesome. Lisa says, would like to see how to fit a pattern to my body. Basic technique on simple items such as trousers, skirts, dresses, tops, simple patterns. So again, I'm going to have a drink. 2 secs. All my drink matches today as well. Summer fruit squash. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I am going to be doing a Sew My Blocks video series in January. I am going to start with one. I've got all of the Susie Furrer courses from Craftsy. That's another one, Craftsy. And Susie Furrer, I really like her as a tutor. So I've got the skirt block, the bodice block, the sleeve block, and the trouser block. So my idea for January is that I'm going to make those things, and I am going to then try and make one thing from those blocks so that it's not just me making calico, moulage and slopers up. So again, like, I'm not going to show you how to do it because I've paid for a class from Susie Furrer, but Craftsy is a really good resource. Skillshare as well. There's an incredible amount of tutorials on Skillshare. Bernadette Banner's just done one and is planning on doing a few more. There's all these resources out there. What I might do, for example, is I probably do like a finishing on the insides, like how to achieve, like how to line something that doesn't have a lining, or those kinds of videos, like, you know, like how to make the insides of your garments as pretty as the outsides, because that is something that I enjoy and I'm obsessed with, the different finishing techniques and things like that, to not use my overlocker, although rainbow thread. So yeah. Sue says, check out the Stitch School. To Lisa. Lisa says, thanks, Sue, I will. Sal says, good day, Sean and Peeps. Good day. Sue says, I've only been sewing a year and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the lovely YouTubers. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Lisa says, I mainly sew toys, bags, and homewares. Yeah, I think lots of people are giving you really good ideas, and maybe kind of like sample some of their YouTube videos and see which one that you actually want to give money to, because there's also the Stitch Sisters. They do a like a school as well. So yeah, there's loads out there. And Nimoy says, I prefer you fumbling over the same things I fumble with. I find more knowledge teachers often either towards treating us like toddlers or assuming too much pre-knowledge. Yeah, I mean, that's the other kind of thing that I try and do, is that translate sewing patterns. Although apparently next year the sewing pattern instructions are going to be much clearer. There is a lot of assumed knowledge in Vogue, Butterick, and McCall's patterns. Some indies as well. There is a lot of assumed knowledge out there. Tilly and the Buttons are amazing for beginner patterns, actually, Lisa. Tilly and the Buttons is a really good one to have a look at. So yeah. Lisa says, would like to make some simple clothes for myself. When I first got back into sewing, I started with the By Hand London Anna dress. So I know I make a lot of it, but there was a full sew along for it. And so they taught you how to like lengthen and shorten it, full bust adjustment, small bust adjustment, all those kinds of things. And I ended up with a really beautiful dress at the end of it, that I would not necessarily have had if I had just fumbled along by myself. So the indie patterns are something that are really good for beginners, because they do a lot more hand holding than the big four do. And that's why I rarely do a sew along from an indie pattern company, because you need to get permission from them, and I can't do a By Hand London Anna sew along, although I've done something perilously close to it, although my order of operations is different to theirs. But when I did my how to fully line a top video with the By Hand London Anna, that's basically the sew along for the bodice. But like I say, my order of operations is very different to theirs, and which is why I thought it was okay for me to put that video out. But yeah, indie patterns, you need to get their permission to put a sew along out, because they may well have their own channel that they're going to put a sew along out on, or charge for a class themselves, which is the case with the By Hand London Anna. And then the instructions tend to be so much better. And they do, like I say, most of the indie pattern companies do kind of have either blogs or YouTube channels which do things for you, which is why I tend to do the Butterick, Vogue and McCall's, sometimes Simplicity as my sew-alongs, because there isn't, I mean, Mimi G is doing a lot of sew-alongs for her patterns, which is awesome, which again is why you don't see them on my channel. So yeah, that's kind of my niche that I'm trying to carve out, is the translating and not making too much assumptions about pre-knowledge like Nim always says. Lisa said, Mim says, hi gorgeous, how are you today? And hi peeps, watching all your videos and learned really much. Thank you very much, Mim. You're welcome. And very well, thank you. How are you? Lisa says, is Made to Sew a YouTube channel? It is indeed, Lisa. And Sue has said yes to that as well. And Lisa says, lovely, thanks. Sue says she hasn't done any for a while, but has lots of tutorials, loads of tutorials. She does, like, Anika hasn't put out videos. She puts them out very sporadically. She's like I say, she moved to Australia with her husband, who's in the RAF, and has started setting up a pattern company as well. But, you know, obviously lots of just stuff going on. But her channel is worth subscribing to and going through the back catalogue and having a look at all the different things that she's got in there, because she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Carolyn says, Sean, your outlook on technique is so nice. As long as it turns out like you like, that's the point. Yes, exactly. Because, again, if you guys, the Closet Historian, she's another really good one to follow. And Bianca sort of said she's been to 3 different schools that have taught her that this is the way you sew darts, and everyone is different. And they're like, no, this is the only way you sew darts. And that's 3 different professional institutions that have been like, we're right. At the end of the day, if you end up with what you're happy with, if you like the process and how you got to the end result, it's right. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. So yeah, I mean, there are certain rules. There are rules, like you've got to work with the grain line of your fabric, but once you know the rules and why the rules are there, that's when you can start breaking them. So, like, you know, I cut my Eve skirts on the cross grain if the print allows for it. And I do that because I have lengthened my Eve skirt pattern and I can't fit it on the normal width of fabric, and I don't want a back seam, so I've taken that out. So, you know, like, learn the rules to break them kind of thing, but they're not like hard and fast, you must do it this way, and if you don't, you're wrong. If you end up with the result you like, however you got there is the correct way. Lisa says, just found her channel and subscribe. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Elena says, YouTube let you have only 12-hour streams. People did find out that during the Johnny Depp trial. Ah, okay. So we'd have to do 2 12-hour streams then. That would give me like half an hour break for, you know, like that would be quite nice. But yeah, I would like to do a 24-hour stream. I think that would be fun. Lisa says that she agrees with Carolyn about the however you get there, as long as you like it, that's the point. And Lisa says, Sean, it makes perfect sense. Awesome. Rachel Lynn says, good morning all. For sewing school, what about Sew It Academy from Mimi G and Vintage Sewing School from Evelyn Wood? Yes, another 2 great. See, look, there's loads of people doing this. That's why I don't think that I should, because I don't want to compete and I enjoy what I do. And what I do is already 2 full-time jobs, so I don't want to have to try and, because the regular YouTube scheduling would suffer if I was trying to record a bunch of paid-for classes and stuff like that. So there's already a million people out there who do it and do it really well. Sue says, ooh, lining, yes please. Lisa says, can't find the Facebook group. If you look in the description of this video, there's a how to contact me section or a support the channel section. But there's a Facebook Peeps Facebook group and then Facebook Peeps group. You found it. Awesome. Nicola says, I have heard Mimi G1 is very good, not tried it, but Tamlin was saying that she was doing it and is impressed with it. Cool. Always good to get some recommendations. I mean, there's Lisa from And So On was recommending the Tailoring Academy, and they actually approached me and wanted to pay me to make something from their first 3 classes, which are free for you to watch. And I did think about it, but it's an investment. It was in the thousands for a 4-year class, but I thought that, you know, there's many levels of stuff out there already that are amazingly done. So yeah. Shanae says, I'm self-taught as well, and something you just have to dive into a pattern that seems difficult. You will surprise yourself at the final outcome, the pride you feel. I made it. # yeah, definitely. I mean, like I say, I started my sewing journey with predominantly quilting cottons because they were pretty, inexpensive, relatively, and easy to come across and really easy to sew with. And then I kind of moved on to cotton lawns, and then I've started adding in more viscoses, and I'm starting to add in more technical fabrics and more technical things like this. So, you know, my progression has been really natural. Like, I haven't dived into a really difficult pattern like I tried to do last time with the silk chamois. I mean, it was a fairly simple skirt, but it was a ridiculously difficult fabric that never got finished. So yeah, I think it's, you know, like at some point you do sort of like take the leap to the next thing. You're like, oh, I want to try that. And yeah, I mean, I still, like, I've got a list in here of videos that I want to do next year of things that scare me, and there's some simple things on there, but they do scare me. So it's going to be interesting to try those out with you. Monica says, yes, I agree. No one does the guts like you do, Shan. Would love more tutorials for bodice lining. Okay, that I can definitely do. I've done them for specific video, like the Sorrento jacket and the 6891, like specifically for those things. But the principle can be applied to anything. So the 9345 capsule collection, possibly I could do, well, no, because that's a video by itself. So I think what I'll do is a kind of like and that's why I always title my videos how I, because I'm not trying to say this is the only way to do it. This is just how I do it, and I have no idea if it's correct, but it works for me, so let me show you. But yeah, I could do a how I draft a lining for something, like a specific generic video for, like, it doesn't matter what pattern it is, but this is how I would approach the thing. Conchetta's here. Good morning. Tiffany says, hello and good evening from Melbourne, Australia. Sorry I'm late. That's fine. Good evening, Tiffany. Susan says, hi from Brisbane, Australia, in bed. Good evening. Carolyn says, I love indie patterns because they are so very thorough. Yes, me too. Nicola says, I think it comes down to who you gel with. I love your style and would watch you if your video was about putting the bins out, as long as you were wearing a pretty dress. Thank you. Shanae says, I now only wear my handmade wardrobe. I just keep sewing. Don't be scared. YouTube is a wealth of knowledge, including your channel, Sean. Thank you. Exactly. It's not just me. There's so many channels out there. Lisa says, lol, Nicola, I feel exactly the same. Oh, you guys. Eliza says, good morning all. Sean, the colour of your dress and sweater are lovely on you. Thank you. Yes, and it's so nice to be able to wear it. I mean, technically it's still like 22 degrees in here, so technically I don't really need this sweater on, but I haven't worn it yet. This is its first outing, and I just love it. So this, I love this dress. And I love the high neck collar on it. And I'm actually thinking maybe I ought to put maybe some dress clips, or like actually sew this bit down, because it does, when you have something over the top of it, it does kind of like peek out. This one's not too bad because I've lined it in the same fabric, but there's one that I only had 2.5 meters of the fabric, and I've lined that in white, and that would really show. So that one I'm thinking of kind of making it into a sweetheart neckline, but this one I think I'll leave because, like I say, I've lined it in the same fabric. So yeah. Christine says, good morning everyone, hope you're all well today. Very well, thank you. Sue says, lol, Nicola, me too. You guys. Susan says, Sean, is there any way for us to help increase your subscriptions? I'm amazed that you don't have more. The algorithm gods are blind. Yeah, the algorithm kind of hates me. And I think it's what I was talking about earlier, that because I do put out a variety of length of videos and not everybody watches all of the videos, then I think that's one of the things that possibly maybe is detrimental to me, but I don't know. The algorithm is like this mythical thing that's incredibly difficult to appease. One of the things it does like, as I've mentioned before, is if you like the video and comment on it, and even if you don't have anything to say, commenting of like your little string of emojis, because if you look through the comment section of mine, there's people that say something and then there's lots of people that just put their little emojis in, and that really, really helps. I mean, even the dislikes on my videos, believe it or not, for all those people who dislike a video, it shows the algorithm that you're interacting with that video. So the likelihood is you will probably get served more content from that creator, even if you disliked it. So interacting with the video, sharing it is something that's really good as well. Like, you know, I saw this, like sharing it on Facebook or Instagram. I saw this video and I really enjoyed it. This, you know, like that helps. So yeah. Martina says, even though you can't make proper sew along for indie patterns, watching the time-lapse sewing part is very relaxing. Yeah, I mean, like with the Do and Dough ones, hopefully it's been kind of interesting. That's one of the reasons that I didn't put this video out yesterday, is like I said, the orchid dress was basically the same format, just different dress. But hopefully that's been interesting. And I do show you how with these ones, I show you how I've altered the pattern ahead of time, and then the sewing process it's all sped up because it's just, you know, following the instructions, because the instructions are really well written. They're sparse, but they're well written. I wouldn't recommend them for a brand new sewer, but they're good. So yeah. Trisha says, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, 115 of us and 44 likes. See, liking the streams, coming back later, even if you commented here, these comments don't technically count for the algorithm. So if you come back later once the stream has gone, you know, once we've finished, and if you just put your little emoji and said, really enjoyed the hangout, like interaction on the videos, that really, really helps. So that is one way to like help a channel grow, as it were. Tiffany says, I take the advice of Captain Barbosa on the pirate code. They're more like guidelines than actual rules. Exactly. Rotten Rapper's here. Good morning, peeps. Good morning. Lisa says, I think I have a couple of Tilly and the Buttons books, but wasn't keen on the patterns. Yeah, I have to say I'm not a fan of her aesthetic, but her instructions are amazing. So like the Coco, or one of the, I think it's an Agnes t-shirt for knits and stuff like that, her instructions are really, really good. So yeah, but again, her aesthetic is not for me either, which is why I don't own very many of her. I think I have one of her patterns and two of her patterns, because I got the Stella hoodie as well. And I don't have any of her books because it's not my favorite aesthetic. But her instructions are amazing. Lisa says, is laughing at Tiffany's pirate code joke. Yes. Sue says, I'm using cheaper fabrics until more confident and making toiles. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing as well. Like, you know, get yourself some old bed sheets, get calico and make muslins with your calico and try that. Like, you know, wearable muslins. I really do miss the textile center for wearable muslin fodder. The fabric room is really good for the viscoses. I have a lot of fabric room viscoses, as you guys know. Everything else that they do is poly. I don't think they have a cotton section, which is sad. Rainbow Brick Fabrics is another good one for inexpensive fabrics. I know they had a little spate of things not being great, but they've rectified that, I think. Yeah. Oh, Tiffany says, yes, please, for drafting a lining. I'm going to add that to my list of videos to be filmed. Okay, how to line an unlined pattern. This is my list of videos for the rest of the year and the potential dates that they're going to be going out on. So it's a long list. It's a long list. I do take note of everything you guys say, and like some of the ones that are like, oh yeah, I could definitely do that well, or there's other ones where I'm just like the, you know, basics going, the sewing school ones. I don't think I could add anything to the market that's not already out there and done better. So I think, yeah. Mim says, I self-drafted for years when my husband surprisingly it went very well. Now I'm cutting out the Vogue 8988 for a tailored jacket. I'm so afraid. You can do it. You can do it. Susan says, I'm also self-taught, started sewing 60 years ago, not bought ready to wear for the last 30 years. Nice. I've bought a few pieces from Next every now and again, and that's because I have a Next account. But yeah, I haven't bought any ready-to-wear clothes for a very long time. Martina says, ooh, what's the beauty of the what's that beauty of the dress behind you? Curious. This one here, that's the Licorice Dress. The video will be coming next week. It's very nice. I like it a lot. This one, but lengthened 10 inches in total. Had to add 4 inches to the torso and 6 inches to the hem, because otherwise it would have been indecent. I would have thought the waist would have been here if I was lucky. Eliza says, what pattern is your dress? I love the neckline too. This is the Butterick 5951, and there is a sew along for that on the channel. Nimoy says, maybe add a video about what to factor in when choosing the finishing techniques, like fabric weight, stiffness, tendency to fray, slippery, needed. Finishing can largely influence drape and fit. Good idea. Good idea. How would we make that into a what would you title said video? Things to think about when lining, and I'm going to be doing a whole lining. Things to consider on the inside. We're doing a whole like inside your dress video series, aren't I? Carolyn says, is in a conversation about an algorithm, we decided it's super finicky for your line. Yes. Saskia says, we should like the live stream, by the way, speaking of the algorithm. Yes, 121 of us and 59 likes. Just hit that little thumbs up. I promise you, it really helps. Sue says, I managed to get some lovely viscose from Pound Fabrics. Ooh, Pound Fabrics, of course, yes. Nimoy says, IKEA seem to have discontinued their Bomul. There goes my go-to twill material. Oh, sad. Yeah, Mum used to buy that by the bolt in Saudi Arabia. Lisa says, Sue is Pound Fabrics online, and Sue says, yes, it is, Lisa. Susan says to Mim, you can do it. Exactly. Lisa says, I shall check them out right now. Thank you. Lollapalooza says, the line drawings do not do those dresses justice. You mean these ones? No. This is a really pretty dress. I do need to put new elastic in it. Diana says, I'm cutting out my third muslin of the Cashmerette Magna Pants. Nice. I think I have the fit right this time, finally. You're a braver girl than I am, because I am terrified of sewing underwear. Not underwear, trousers. Pants. That's why I thought underwear. Pants and trousers. Yeah, that's one of the things that I have got on my list of projects that scare me. Fitted trousers. I have a couple of pairs. I have a Ralph Pink pair and a Amy Nicole pair of trousers I want to make next year. Next year might end up being the year of trousers. I have a lot of trouser fabric. A lot of trouser fabric, so I just need to get the courage up to make it up. Sue says, whereabouts are you in? Whereabouts are you, Lisa? And Lisa says, I am in Devon. Sue says the Remnant House in Bude has quite a few fabrics. Only Jenny Sutton says, I just placed an order with Pound Fabrics. Just found out they are online. Dangerous. Sue says, Truro Fabrics is amazing. Truro Fabrics is somewhere that I really want to go and visit. I love their selection. I have the most beautiful fabric from them. I've got a swatch of it. Now let's see if I can find it. I think it's in here. I think it's in here. Maybe it's not in here. Ooh, where's it gone? Where has it gone? If you were a really pretty fabric, where would you be hiding? Answers on a postcard, please. Where are you, pretty fabric? Where are you hiding? Where have you gone? I've lost it. I mean, I haven't. It's in here somewhere. Well, where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, no. I can't find it. It's got to be in here. There it is, found it. It was hiding. So Truro Fabrics, they do swatches. I ordered a sample of this. It's a cotton lawn. I ordered a sample and it went out of stock and they never got it back in stock. That's something to bear in mind. And they found a remnant of it. So I bought the remnant and I've got, I think, just under 2 meters here. And I really wish I bought enough to make a dress because, oh my gosh, how beautiful is this? So yes, it's going to be a shirt, I think. Going to be a shirt. Now I've got to try and get it back in the stash. Doesn't want to go back in the stash. There you go. I'll neaten that up later, but you guys can't see it at the moment. So as far as you're concerned, it's really neat. Nimoy says, video title suggestion, finishing choices from the start. Ooh, that's good. Thank you. Let me make notes. Finishing choices from the start. Good plan, Batman. Lisa says that's Cornwall. Sue says it is if you're ever down that way. Lisa says just logged on to Pound Fabrics. Oh my gosh, I'm excited like a kid at Christmas. Lol. Sue says, have you been to Abercarn, Sean? No, I haven't. Rachel Lynn says finishing from the beginning as the name for the video. That's also really good. I like that. I'm gonna write that down as well. See, you guys, I'm pay you like a commission, content creation commission, won't I? What was it? Finishing from the beginning. Like it a lot. Sue says, I bought some jersey from Truro. I'm scared to cut into it. Yeah. Tiffany says, ooh, the cashmerette Calder pants might be one to try. Flat front with an elasticated back, very comfortable. Ooh, nice. Sue says, we went on holiday down there. I spent quite a bit, can imagine. Tiffany says, I'm looking forward to your trouser making adventures. I am both excited and terrified about them all at the same time. I have got a couple of trouser videos slated for this year, but I might procrastinate them again until I've done my trouser block. I might. I won't stop buying trouser patterns, I don't think, because I like the styling of all the patterns that I've got, but one of the things that I generally have to do when I buy patterns is alter them so incredibly much for my hip spring. Because my waist is 28 inches and my butt is 43, so that's 38, 15 inches of difference between my waist and my hips, and my torso's long, but the difference, the distance between my widest point and my smallest point is actually not that long. It's I'm long up here, so yeah. Sue says, I've just put up a picture of my jersey, I'm guessing in the Peeps group. Elle has asked to do Elle, as she says, we ruled by two of her own overlords called Charlie and Harrison, but you will share pictures. And you are attracted to cat mad people. We are the best. Indeed we are. Approved. Approved. I want to be in. Oh, ooh, Sue, that jersey is gorgeous. No wonder you don't. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, fabric envy. Fabric envy. It's got leaves and grapes on it. I need it. They don't do it anymore, do they? Caroline says, Lisa, try Poundometer 2. Lisa says, I've made a couple of reversible kimono jackets using a pattern made to fit me. They were Debbie Shaw pattern. She is a friend of mine. I moderate her twice weekly YouTube lives. Oh, cool. Lollapalooza says, question, how do you plan on finishing your seams on the fine cord project you have planned? I have some that I paid for far too much for, and I'm scared to start on the project I have planned. I am going to be fully lining the inside, so the bodice of it, I'm not going to do anything to it because it's going to be fully lined. So my understanding of seam finishing is that you don't want your project to unravel, and the more wear and tear and friction that the project has next to it means the more it's going to unravel and fray at the seams if your fabric is prone to do that. When you fully line a bodice, I don't finish the seam allowance on the outer fabric or the inner fabric. I leave it completely raw because the washing and things like that, nothing's, it's all encased, it's all enclosed. So in my head, nothing's gonna rub against it and create friction and make it fray. I do finish, if it's a sleeveless dress and it's lined, I will pink the armhole seam allowance because that relieves a lot of the tension around a curve as well. Like I say that for pinking is like the same as notching into it, but it helps finish it helps finish it nicely. And then for the skirt, I'm going to bias bind the edges. One of the reasons I don't add bias binding and things to the bodice if I'm fully lining it is because I don't want to add bulk into the bodice at all. So I don't want to add extra bulk at the seams. So yeah, I mean, my 8577s, I actually just pink the seams of the skirt. And when we were at the Festival of Quilts, somebody was looking at the finish on the inside of my clothes. And because the skirt is fully lined as well as the bodice on that one, I just pink it because I am sewing the 8577 with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance rather than 5/8 of an inch. So I would have to add more to the pattern to French seam it the way that I usually would, and also the amount of layers that you end up with at the side seam, the French seaming it at the side seam with all the pocket detail would be difficult to do, if not impossible. When I've made a skirt from the 8577 without a lining, that one I bias bound everything on the inside. So yeah, I mean, there is legs for a video there, you guys, because that was a whole long explanation about why I pick the seam finishes that I do for the certain things. So Lollapalooza, I would say for cord, even the thin cord that I've got, I'm going to bias bind the seam allowances separately and press them open and flat on my project. I don't like overlooking the insides of woven garments, and it is only because I was terrified of this thing for 5 years. I bought this really expensive £900 sewing machine that sat there looking at me for 5 years before I got up the courage to use it. And there's a video of my first time using it on the channel. Sponsored by Girl Charlie. They sent me the fabric to play around with, which was incredibly kind of them. But I learned all these different finishing techniques because I was terrified of this thing. And it's just my preference. I like how French seams look. I mean, the insides of this dress, let's see if I can show you this without flashing too. So French seamed, the skirt seams, and then self-made bias binding. And I've got self-made bias binding around the hem of the arms as well. So they're all then hand stitched into place. Just my preference. Lisa says, also made a batwing top. Got some thin jersey to make a batwing top to wear as pajamas. Nice. Sue says they had a massive roll of it. Just got it in, I think. Sue, this is not helpful. This is not helpful. Excuse me while I shop for fabric. My tummy's rumbling. Fabrics. This is all Sue's fault. Hello. Hello. Garment fabric. Shop by fabric type. Jersey knits. If it's here, we're going to be in trouble. I'm kind of hoping it is and that it isn't. Ooh, that's pretty. £23 a metre. It's wool jersey though. Ooh, that is pretty. Oh, hello. It is wool jersey, but ooh, that's pretty. But yes, £23 a metre. No. No, 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 no. Happy little shopping, Sean. Ooh, that French terry colourway. What are you doing to me? Ah, that French terry colourway is gorgeous. They've got it the other way around as well. I like that. I like that. And £17 per metre. Not too bad. It's not coming up. This is a good thing. Ooh, it's not come up, but there's something different. That's nice. This is £30 a metre. Chunky knit wool fabric. Oh, look how lovely. That's something that I'd want to see in real life because I'd need to work out how I was going to work with it. Sparkly. Sparkly. It's my little happy shopping face. Don't think it's on here. This is good. This is good because I do not need more fabric. Ooh, wool blend jersey knit. Ooh, it's green. It's very similar to that last one I've just shown you. It's very Missoni. It is an ex-designer, so I think it is Missoni. It's not on there. It's not on the website. This is good. Lisa says to Caroline, thank you. I will look now. Carolyn says, I finished a 1-year project because of Sean. Thank you for giving me the advice on birthing a bag. It worked perfectly. My blue Carla Boronia bowler is now 2 weeks old and doing very well. Oh, awesome. That's so cool. Nimue says, I have a needlecore dress, half finished for 2 years, don't judge. I made a lining for the bodice and bias bound the skirt seam allowances separately. Yes, good plan. Nimue says, lunch break for me, see you later, enjoy. Sue says, sorry. No, you're not. You're not. And Sue says, they haven't got it on their website. It's not, I'm safe. Ooh. And yours was only $12.99 a meter. This is good to know, but I'm glad it's not on the website because, oh my goodness, but there are other ones that I've now fallen in love with. Debbie says, my longest working project was a tie for my husband. He only waited 17 years. Wow. Johanna says, hi, everyone from North Carolina. Hello. Elena says, I want to stay with you, but my kid wants to have sewing session with me. I maybe will be back. Oh, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy very much. Right. One thing I can do is put away the overlocker because I haven't got as much as I want to, because I did think about maybe cutting out a couple of other t-shirt projects this today with you guys, but then I was like, no, because my goal for September is to get through one of these cubby holes, and it won't be like just one cubby hole, it's going to be fabrics from all of them. But my goal for September is to empty out one of the, not September, December, because December I'm going to be doing Vlogmas, obviously, and I thought, you know what, let's do some easy projects from my knit fabrics because they sew up so quickly, and as we proved yesterday, so yeah, I want to go through. I've planned it out. There's a couple here that I bought fabrics to turn into Siroccos. There's lots of t-shirts in here. There's a couple of ones that are going to be leggings. There's a couple of ones that are going to be dresses. So, hello, Father.
Hi, I'm just going to the shop. Right, so you might hear the dog.
Yes. Would you please get me a layered... Are you going to the Co-op or the Morrison's?
Co-op.
Could you get me a layered prawn salad? As you know where the sandwiches all are when you go in?
Yeah.
And if you buy the salad, a drink, and a packet of crisps, which are over where the bit chocolate is, could I have the beef hula hoops and either a caffeine-free Coke or a Fanta, orange Fanta? You get a deal on it. Because I've just been saying how hungry I am. He's regretting coming to say hi. Do you want to leave the door open so the dog can come in and out?
I'll let her out then.
Okay, cool. Thank you. What was I saying? Yes, so my plan for December is I've got a bunch of like big long videos to do, like my year in review, my Make 9 review, my Make 9 plans, and all those kinds of things. But I want to do like empty out one of these of knit projects because I have a goal to empty out 5 cubby holes this year. And that's the rest of the year's projects. I'm also going to be doing the coat in December as well. But that's 1, 2, and then with the rest of it, I think I will have emptied out 3 cubby holes rather than the 5. But that's the plan for December. Easy projects that are attainable in a day, so that I can waffle at you daily at the same time as sewing. That's the plan. That is the plan. Let's see. Sal says you will love the green bluish dress Galadriel wears in the new episode of the Power of the Rings. I haven't watched any of those episodes yet because I'm waiting for the whole lot. I haven't watched The Sandman yet either because I have been so busy, and I've been watching Elementary because it's really fun, but I don't have to concentrate on it, whereas Sandman I will have to concentrate on. And same with the new Lord of the Rings series. And they're going to be ones that I'm going to want to sit down and do nothing else whilst I'm doing it. My glasses were filthy. Let's see. Lisa says, I meant to be cleaning my kitchen and lounge, but decided Shan is far more entertaining, so it looks like housework will just have to wait. I'm glad that you are joining me for Sunday waffles. Natalie says, hi, just popping in briefly. Hope everyone is well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Lisa says, ooh, just got approved to join the group. Awesome. Carolyn says, hi, Whiff. And Sue says, I'm going to make new look 6301 with the grape jersey. I've done a wearable toile, had to go down a few sizes as it was massive. Have you joined the Pound Fabric community group, Lisa? And Lisa says, Sue, is that on Facebook? And Sue says it is indeed. Sal says, just thought about making a pure silk 3-piece suit for my birthday this year, which will be my 40th. What kind of silk? Because there's wool silk blends from Mood Fabrics. That would be amazing. Jenny Lee says to Lisa, I'm literally looking at the mess that is my living room with Sean on the TV, not doing a thing. Lisa says Sue found it and joined. Awesome. Right. So what was I? One of the things I was thinking about is I might get out the rest of my Deer and Doe patterns and see which ones I've got left that I haven't made yet. I don't think I'm going to do Deer and Doe again next year, but the other one was the Now and Then patterns, the Till the Sun Goes Down patterns, wasn't it? So let me grab some of those and let's see what we're dealing with. Because I've got quite a few. Quite a few. Done both of those. That one. Okay, I think that's all the ones from the cupboard. Because one of the other things I was thinking about was possibly doing the some Gertie patterns, because I am a Patreon member and I don't think I've made one Patreon pattern. I've got them all, obviously. Downloaded them all, had a few printed. I've done that one. But yeah, I haven't actually made any of them up. I have so many patterns. So many patterns. I think I've got them all out though. Oh, I've left in the Deer and Doe ones that I've made previously. I do have one in here, and then there's a couple over there. Because I mean, I have a giant stack of patterns here, like the vintage ones that I got out, and my sew-alongs that are outstanding. I've got a giant stack of patterns there that need to be made as well. I will get there. It will happen. It's on Shan time. So, yeah. Haven't heard the pitter-patter of teeny tiny little feet yet. I think Rachel might have posted a video onto the YouTubes. That's exciting. Right, sorry, distracted. I've just got a pile of stuff in front of me now. I've got to put them all away in a minute as well. Oh, fun times. Where did I get to? The chat. Lisa says to Jenny, the housework will still be here later. Sean will not. Lol. Who knows? Some of these waffles go on for a long time. Rotten Ralph says, I'm on a no buy and enjoying my fabric envy. That's another thing, is I am trying to, as I say, so through my stash rather than add to it. And I am going to Lady McElroy on the 29th of September. I haven't booked an appointment yet. I'm going to book an appointment. I'm taking Big Bird and Mum again. I've got some denim to pick up. I've got 2 meters of the Darley Dale denim to pick up, which I'm really excited about. I think I've shown you guys a picture of it. Here we go. Yes, stitched up. Sunday catch up. My latest makes, new fabrics and sewing plans. Yay, I'm excited. That's what I'm going to be doing once I've stopped hanging out with you guys. Catching up with Rachel. I have some fabric to send to Rachel, actually. I meant to do it this week and I completely forgot. So I'm going to wrap it up and get it sent out to her. There's the pitter patter of teeny tiny feet. Hi, Suze. Hello. Suze. No, she's going to just sit in the doorway. She does that sometimes. Right. Let me show you a picture of denim that I have bought. Showed it to you last time. Look how pretty! I've got 2 meters of it. I've paid for it. I'm going to pick it up. So yeah, I need to not go back to McElroy and spend all of the money, but I'm trying to be good. I am trying to be good. For the rest of the year, I haven't said this out loud yet. For the rest of the year, I think I don't want to buy any new fabric, except for linings that I need and possibly some more of the border print so I can finish off the other bodice that I've made. Oh, and I need some calico as well for muslins because I'm completely out of calico. But yeah, I don't think I want to buy any more fabric. If they find some more of the suiting for me, because they can't find the suiting at the moment, but if they can find some more of that suiting, I'm going to get 3 meters for the jacket, the Bianca style, the Jagger style jacket. And I'm buying some elephant and chameleon cotton lawn 2.5 meters for my brother for his birthday and Christmas present that Mum's going to make into a shirt, so Big Bird can take it to KL with her when she goes to visit him for Christmas. But I don't want to buy any more fabric this year. I have so much, and that is not to say that I'm not going to, because we all know that I have the breaking strain of a Kit Kat, as Big Bird would love to say. And I do find prints and things like that, and Lady McElroy are bound to bring out another print that I'm going to fall in love with and going to need. But I would like to not buy any more fabric this year, because I have so much and I have so many beautiful ones, and I really need to kind of work my way through it. So let's see if I can stick to that, because what is it? It's halfway through September, well, not even third of the way through September. So I've got October, November, December, 3 months and 20 days to get through. Who thinks I can do it? Show of hands. And that doesn't mean that I can have a fabric orgy in January unless Lady McElroy do one of their 50% off remnants sales. I've got an eyelash misbehaving again. Yeah, if they're and I'm gonna not be going to the Gold Hawk Road until February as well. So it would have been November, would have been a fabric kind of spending spree. But like I say, the things have changed, so I wouldn't have any money to actually spend on fabric when I was there. But saving money by not getting to London would mean that I would have some fabric money to spend. But yes, no new fabrics, except for lining, calico, and possibly 2.5 meters of the border print so I can finish the second bodice off. But other than that, no new fabric until the new year. Watch me fail miserably. Rotten Ralph says, I'm on a no buy and enjoying my fabric envy. I've read that one, haven't I? That was what started that whole tangent, wasn't it? Natalie says, I got my new sewing machine last night. We decided I needed to reorganize my sewing room before I unboxed it. Stupid, stupid, stupid. No, no, no. It's good. It's good. It'll be a lovely new start for your brand new sewing machine. Congratulations. That means your birthday's just been and gone as well, doesn't it, Natalie? So happy birthday. I think I've got that right. Lisa says, Elfen is me, Shan. Welcome to the Peeps group. Amy says, I just joined Gertie's Patreon and would love to see you make some up. Me too. I was thinking that I could possibly do like a capsule wardrobe from Gertie. Because I need to pick 9 patterns and there's more than enough to do like kind of like an everything from there. So yes. Conchessa says, ooh, I'd love to see what fabric types designs you would choose from for charm patterns. Yes, one of the things that scares me is the African wax print that I got from the very lovely Karen. I have 5 meters of it. It is a giant print with encrusted with Swarovski crystals, and I think I want to make the Liz dress with it. So that's 2 things that scare me, like a boned bodice dress and working with that print, because Conchetta also says, also glad you got the towel reference on yesterday's video. Out of context, it's a bit odd. Oh gosh, what's her name? Oh, it's completely gone. But one of my favourite sewing vloggers, who doesn't really vlog anymore, but she did a towel jacket for her sister, who's a stand-up comedian, for Towel Day. Oh yeah, yes, no, but life, the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, like Towel Day, yeah. Jennifer says, good evening from Oz. Love your cardigan. One of Mum's. Absolutely, it's the Hawthorn cardigan. It's gorgeous. It's the first outing today. I bought the wool specifically to go with the Cobra Corsage mulberry, and it does beautifully. I'm not sure the turquoise nails do. I was thinking about repainting those last night, actually, but I decided at like 11 o'clock, and it's a long process. And also, the last time I slept on them, I ended up with loads of little hair imprints in them where they were still slightly soft. So, no, that was something I was thinking about doing with you guys today. I was trying to paint my nails, but then decided no, because I also want to do my toenails to match. So, yes, another time. Why is my eyelash again being really silly? Sue says, have missed Rachel. Yay, I know, me too. Lisa says, I sold my overlocker. Damn thing was impossible to thread. It hated me. So I sold it quickly before I threw it out the window. I just zigzag inseams and pink curved seams. Nice. Debbie says, the Lady McElroy faux leathers are superb. I have 5 meters waiting for the perfect coat pattern. Ooh, I haven't ever felt those, all the faux furs in real life. I'll have to ask them when I go up if they could get a couple out so I can have a look. I wonder if they'll let me film again. Rotten Mouth says, I watched Stephanie Canada do a huge vintage pattern unboxing yesterday. So many things. She's a pattern dealer. It's a drug. Yeah. Counted and Curated is another really good one. Angela Clayton's second channel for her pattern shop on Etsy. I really enjoy watching her talk about the patterns. I will frequently screenshot them. I always miss out on the ones that I want, or they're in the wrong size for me, but it's nice to see the style lines, because I'm thinking, again, once I make my slippers, that possibly I could try and recreate some things that might work for me. Rotten Mouth, read that one. Carolyn says, hands up. Is that hands up? You think I can do it, or like no chance for the fabric buying ban? Rotten Ralph says to Lisa, I sold my overlocker as well. I never used it. Lala Palooza says, overlockers, love-hate relationship with mine. Just discovered my differential feed adjuster is seized. Much cursing followed. Oh no. Laurel says, good morning, Shan and Peeps. Good morning. Lisa says, this is so nice to sit and chat. I live on my own with the cats, Charlie and Harrison, and have a foster cat who gave birth to 1 kitten last month. Sad she delivered dead kit on Thursday. Oh. Lisa says, it's lovely to chat to someone that doesn't just say meow, lol. Yes, I do chat to Tiana quite a lot. Yeah. Rotten Ralph says, oh yes, I love Counted and Curated. Me too. Jojo's here. Afternoon, lovely peeps. Hope you're all well. So, Shan isn't buying any more fabrics this year, eh? One should always have faith in one's friends, but come on. Jojo, I can do this. Come on, I can do this. I can. I can totally do this. I can shop my stash. I have so much. I have so much wonderful stuff. I need to just, yeah. Like I'm looking around now and I'm like, oh yeah, that one's going to be this and that one's going to be this. And then this one's going to be this. And then I have no idea what this one's going to be, but I had to have it. Carolyn says, hands up, you can do it. Then buy more fabric. Yeah, the fabric shopping frenzy that will happen in January. Yeah. The Black Friday Something Delightful sale I am going to participate in. I need to I buy them from Something Delightful because they do free shipping, and if you keep the order under £135, you don't get charged income tax on them in the UK. And they will send 20 patterns in one parcel. So I've gone through the new ones that have been released over the last couple of years, because the last pattern haul I did was about this time last year. I haven't bought a bunch of new ones for a while. So I have my pattern wish list, and I am going to take part in the Black Friday Something Delightful sale. I've been looking at the Deer and Doe website a lot recently, and I know they're not doing their paper patterns anymore, and there's a couple that I still haven't got, and they still have them on paper, and I'm just like, oh, do I buy them now or do I behave? So I'm trying to behave. But yeah, there will be a pattern haul around Black Friday, and if Lady McElroy, sorry, if they do an amazing deal, like the 50% off their remnants, it would be silly not to. But yeah. Michelle says, I want to shop your stash. No. This is why I'd be a terrible, terrible fabric store owner, because it would just be, I'd be like a dragon with my fabric hoard. Mine, my precious. I actually have that saved in my presets so that like I can just drag and drop it into any videos that I want, because I was getting it so often. I haven't done it for a while, but yeah. Rotten Ralph says, you have a wonderful stash, you can do it. Sue says, lol, Michelle, I'm heading for the ferry now. Natalie says, thank you. My birthday is on Wednesday. I got the machine a couple of days early, and I'm on my way to meet some Siamese kittens today that I will be fostering next month. Have a fab day. Or amazing. And you need to share pictures of your babies. I want to see. Martina says, do you guys have a money threshold for fabric shopping? Somebody actually asked me that the other day as well, like what's my budget for what I do, given that like this is my job. And the honest answer is I haven't had one. I've been on the kind of like see, want, have mentality for the last sort of 7 years, and it's only this last 2 years that I have kind of reined it in a little bit. Suze, you coming in? Hi. Hello. Can you make it all the way around? Can you find your way around? Hello, come on. Come on. Suze. Or are you in your bed? Hi, baby. She just looks confused. There's lots of things that she can whack her head into on the way around here. Careful. Given the amount of stuff that we've got around the place that hasn't moved in years, like the year and a half we've been here, she still whacks into things, bless her. Like proper little thunks every now and again, you'll hear a whack. So no, I haven't really had a budget for shopping. It's definitely been see, want, have, and I want to save up a deposit for a house. I want my own place. It's going to be like it was supposed to be with Wilson, but that's not going to happen because we're not together anymore. I do get the odd comment of like, are you and Wilson still together? And it's kind of like I thought it was obvious because I just don't go to London anymore. But no, Wilson and I are no longer together, and I am still sad about that. So, yeah, getting your heart broken really sucks. But the plan was that sort of like 3 years that we were going to buy a place together, and I want to kind of stick to that. But obviously, buy a place by myself. Ideally, I would like to buy somewhere within walking distance of mum and dad, because I don't own a car and I don't really want to. I use mum and dad's car. They're very kind and let me do that. So ideally, I'd like to be able to walk to work and keep this as my workplace. If I won sort of like, you know, I do buy lottery scratch cards, the jackpot of which is $250,000. If I won that, I would probably move back to London. I love it down here. I really do. But I don't have any friends here other than you guys. But any real life friends to go and do things with here. And I miss that social side of things. I miss, you know, being able to say to somebody, oh, do you want to come and do the thing? And it not having to take lots of planning and a £100 ferry trip involved in it. So yeah, if I had enough money, I would totally live in London again, but I don't. And the likelihood of me being able to afford anywhere in London is tiny, well, improbable. Anywhere that I could work from as well. So the idea is somewhere in the village that we currently live in, and within hopefully walking distance. I'm not ruling out never buying a car, but it's just something that I'd rather not have to spend a shed ton of money on. So yeah. But I do, like I say, I want to save up to buy somewhere to live. So mum and dad have a spare bedroom. I mean, I love living with mum and dad, but you know, it would be nice for them to be able to have guests when they want. They can't at the moment. We don't have a spare bedroom. Last time James and Nia came to stay, they stayed in a tent in the back garden. So it would be really nice for mum and dad to have their spare room back, and it would be really nice for me to have my own space, and for Chiana to have a larger space than just the bedroom. Sue says bicycle. No, I fall off bikes. No, I literally do fall off bikes. Haven't been on a bicycle that's not, you know, like a stationary gym bike for decades. So no, because I fall off them. So I have realized that I can't live in my fabric as much as I would like to. I mean, I would be warm, but probably not dry after the first rain. So I need to be a little bit more thoughtful about how I'm spending my money. She says, with giant piles of really expensive things in front of her. I mean, all of these are incredibly expensive. I think there's a good £300 worth of stuff in front of me here. I hate to think how much money I've spent on stuff over the years. I wouldn't change anything though. I really wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't have the life I do now if I had done anything differently in the past, and I love the life that I have, so wouldn't change anything. But my my spending habits need to change. And especially as like my plans got completely derailed by the last couple of years of stuff that's been happening, because there was meant to be like way more live events and retreats and things like that, and yeah, you know, one of those things, you just roll with the punches. So eventually, I mean, it's going to come to the point as well where it'll be like I might not be able to get a mortgage even if it's a tiny one because of my age. Yeah, there's that to bear in mind as well. So I am trying to be slightly more responsible with my spending. So stop encouraging me with pictures of pretty jersey fabrics that I absolutely need. Anyway, let's see. Where did I get to with the chat? Sue says, are there remnants good? I don't know which shop you were talking about, but Lady McElroy's remnants they class 4.2 meters as a remnant. So their remnant sales are usually pretty damn good, and especially when they do, because there's a discount on the remnant anyway, like a small one, maybe like £1 or £2 per meter. And then when they do like 30% off remnants, the best one that they did was last Christmas, just after Christmas, and it was their 50% off their remnant sale. And I did spend 130 quid, I think. which should have cost me 260 quid. And so yeah, I did get a bunch of remnants just after their Christmas sale, which is what, if they do a 50% off remnant sale, then I will cave this year. But if they don't, then I'm waiting for that. Lisa said to Natalie, fostering is good. I'm the foster coordinator for a local cat charity with a new baby kitten. I am now on my 53rd foster. See, my problem would be I would be now on my 53rd cat. I would have, I think it's a clouder of cats. I would have I wouldn't be able to give them away. I'd be like, nope, mine, all mine. Jojo says, to be fair, I'm doing the 30-meter challenge and kind of trying to do the same. As soon as I thought the words fabric buying ban, I come out in hives and immediately filled my basket of pound fabrics. Yeah, no, I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying not to be like, I cannot buy anymore ever, because I'm trying to be like, shop the stash, challenge yourself to like be creative with what you already have. Because if I tell myself I can't have something, then I'm like, I need it now. So yeah. Conchetta says sales are different. Those are fabric emergencies. Once the sale is over, it's gone. You're actually saving money in the long run. At least that's the way what I tell myself. Oh, totally agree with your logic there. You know, it's good fabric logic. I need to do a t-shirt, don't I? Fabric logic. I've just sewn 3 meters, so this 5-meter cut is perfectly reasonable. I need to fill the hole in the stash. Rotten Ralph says, I would love to foster kitties, but himself is an admitted foster failure. Me too. Sue says, I do prefer to go in and feel fabrics. Me too. That's another reason I am badgering Lady McElroy into doing a sample book of all of their cotton base, all of their bases of fabric. And I did say to them, perhaps do like a McElroy and a suiting one, because they do suiting separately. And I was like, look, you know, every single base that you do a book of it, 10-centimeter swatches with distinct labels that say what it is, charge for it, charge a tenner for it. But for people who have to shop online and people who are abroad, it will make buying process, they'll be so much more confident in buying this base on that base or this base with that print that they love, because they know exactly what they're going to get. And you have so many bases, so they've taken that on board. Fingers crossed they'll actually, touch wood, they'll actually take it up and do it. But I have badgered them about that. So yeah. Jojo says, and I can always help out by coming down and shopping your stash. I mean, Jojo, if that means that you'll come to the island, I'm going to say yes, because I always love seeing you. But I don't know if you'd actually be able to walk out of here with anything. I mean, I do have some cotton silk fabrics that you could buy. 100%. I have bolts of those, and I'd be happy to let you buy some of those. Nimue bought some. Nimue's back, by the way. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. But yeah, no. If it means you'll come down to the island to visit me, then yes, you may shop my stash. If you actually want to leave the premises alive, not so much. Lisa says to Rotten Ralph, yep, I have a couple of failed fosterers in my team too. Yeah, that would be me. Sal says, the place I work is the literal next room to where I live. Yeah, I mean, I do have to go outside to get to my workplace, but it's on the same the premises. Sue said, bicycle, no, I fall off them. I've said that already. Lisa says, Shan, don't have any real life friends either. I just do cats, lol. Yes. Although I'm not sure Chiana actually likes me. I think she tolerates. No, to be fair, she does like me. She gets very excited when I come home. She's usually sitting on the end of the bed, like right in the corner, like sitting up. It's not because she wants food, because I walk in and she'll start headbutting and purring, and it's just like, oh. And this morning she was like determined to sit on the lap and be cuddled, and it's just like, this little guilt. So yeah. Sue says, oops, to me falling off of bikes. Rotten Ralph says, tricycle is my jam. Probably would need training wheels on my bike, to be fair. Sue says, I don't have many friends, to be fair. My sister is my best friend. Yeah, I mean, I get on so well with my mum, and I do enjoy spending time with mum and dad doing things. I really, really do. I just miss my friends, and they all live so far away, you know, like, it's my stupid fault for having amazing people that just live so far away from me. So yes, I think London would, if I could afford to live in London, I totally would. The likelihood of that happening without a lottery win is minimal though, so yeah. Lisa says, lol, Shan, I often get sick or neglected cats as fosters. It's lovely to nurse them back to health and rehome them. If I kept them, I wouldn't be able to help more fur babies in need. Yeah, that's another thing. If I won the lottery, I probably would end up with 53 cats. Mind you, I would have a house big enough to fit them all in. I have bought a ticket for Tuesday. I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful. Christine says, Hubs christened my sale fabric shopping as my spending money to save money habit. Yes. It's like when I justify buying more fabric on the fabric room so that I can get free shipping, because the shipping's £9 and the fabric is £3 per meter, but you have to get over a certain threshold to get free shipping. It's like, well, you know, like by adding, if I just spend that £9 on shipping, that's daft. So if I spend that £9 on fabric, I would have still spent the £9, but then I need to spend another sort of like £15 to get it here. But like I say, I love their viscoses for lining fabrics. So, you know, I have that's from the fabric room, that's from the fabric room, that's from the fabric room, that's from the fabric room. There's a bunch behind you from the fabric room. They'll get used. They'll get used. Nimue is back. She very much enjoyed her lunch. Might be too stuffed to cut out my toiles. That's fine. Sounds like Dad's just come back as well. Hopefully he found what I asked for or substituted something in. Renske says, I used to be stricter. I used to be stricter again in not buying new fabric, but for feeling better mentally at the moment, just don't care. No, fabric is also like perfectly reasonable mental health. Kind of like, yeah, totally get it. Totally get it. Like when I'm having a down day, I will come in here and roll around in the fabric in secret. Don't film that because it's very no. But yeah, I mean, also hanging out with you guys on Sundays always cheers me up. Sal says about the bike thing, never learned how to ride one, so can't say it's the like riding a bike when remembering how to do something. Lol, yeah. No, I'm not very good. I do fall off of them. So yeah. Rizke says, just finished an easy mini skirt from a remnant. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Right, I'm all caught up with the chat. So let's have a look at my deer and doe patterns that I've got but haven't made up yet. So the first one is the Narcisse Pants, Narcissus trousers. They are in my to be made folder over there, and I've actually got these slated for possibly December this year. Possibly in a black suiting fabric, which is there. The Fumitaire Skirt, really want to make this. Rachel Tamlin, the first person I saw wearing this was Tamlin at the dressmaker's ball, and she'd done it in a viscose and it looked amazing. Rachel's done one of these. She wore it when she came to visit for my birthday, and hers looked amazing as well in viscose. So I would really like to get this one made, and that was also in that pile over there. Papa is indeed home. The Coquelicot, which is Poppy, the Poppy dress, one of their recent ones. Would like to give that a go and make that. Then we've got the Belladon. I have actually made this. I've made two for my niece. One was her bridesmaid's dress, which I've still got down here and needs to be fixed, I think. Papa's here. Everyone said hi to you when you were here last.
All right. Dog's been down, I see.
Yes. Oh, no, that's been there for a while, unless there's a new one.
No. Like, do you want this here?
Yes, please. Although I need a fork. It's all right, I'll come and get it. I will be back with you guys in a minute.
I don't know if I've got the right fork.
Oh, no, that'll do.
Used by bloody hundreds of things.
Thank you very much. I do need a fork, so I should need a fork. Oh, yes. I'm back. He's bought me ready salted crisps instead of the beef flavoured ones, but he did, and the wrong drink. But you know what? He bought me lunch, which is very kind of him. So, yay. Yes, Belladonna dress. I've made a couple. I've made one for myself, which I still have the pattern for, but it was when I was a lot smaller, so I'm going to need to do it again, basically. But I really liked that, and Dad really liked that one on me as well. Every time I wore it, he was very complimentary. So need to make that one again. I'm going to get to Jojo says, you underestimate the power of the force. I'm on my way. Not that I'm only coming for the fabric possibilities, of course. You'd be very welcome, Jojo. Rotten Ralph says, Westgate Renske? Rachel Lynn says, move the mannequin. You guys, I've left her in view. You're meant to behave yourselves. Rotten Ralph says, very sorry, but my brain is fried. Redsko says, any ideas for a pattern with 1 meter remnants, wool fabric, not to sew another skirt? Yeah, waistcoat would be really nice. And Redsko says that might be an idea. Thank you to Rotten Ralph. Yeah, wait, I got the 5193 out of a 60 centimeter remnant of the Brielle wool. So yeah, waistcoat would be really good. I need to wear my waistcoats. I don't, because I don't have the right stuff to wear them with, which is another reason I want to get on with making all the trousers and stuff, because yeah, and the shirts. Yeah. Kathy says, good morning, Sean. Good morning. And Carolyn says, mannequin moving is so fun though. You guys are terrible. You're terrible. Right, the next one I'm going to have to Google. I'm going to close the Truro Fabrics window because we do not need to see that. And I'm going to have to get some Google Translate out because I want to know what this actual is called. And I won't be able to pronounce it. The Hawthorn dress. The Hawthorn dress. Now, this is one of the ones that I was not 100% sure about at the time. But I think that if I drop the cord to be an actual waist cord rather than an empire cord, I love all the tucks around here. I think I can make this work for me. It's like the Myosotis. I think I can make that work for me. I haven't cut it. I've cut it out. I've not made it up yet, so I don't know if I'm right in that thought. But that was this. The Hawthorn was one that I thought, ooh, I could tweak that. These ones, the Saffron Pants, I bought ages ago, like years ago, and I don't know if I will actually ever make these up because I just don't wear this kind of thing anymore. If I started exercising again, I might. But I'm glad that I've got it because I do like this one. This is Chestnut, the Chestnut shorts. Again, I'm never going to make the shorts, but I really like I'm just going to elongate these into trousers. I really like the waistband on these ones. So yeah. And we've got the Azara. What's that as a flower? Apparently it's just a Zara, so okay. The Azara skirt, which I think is really interesting, and I could have a lot of fun with some color blocking on this one. And then the Ariel, don't know what flower this is. Lingonberry, the Lingonberry top. Oh, that's so cool. Actually, Wilson bought this for me for a birthday present. I think it might have been a Christmas present, one of the others. But I won't let that deter me. So Lingonberry, going to make that at some point as well. So dress. Need to put these back where they came from, although I won't do it all immediately now. I'll put back the ones that I can easily. Oh, I forgot. I've got this one as well. It's in the old packaging. I didn't buy it in the new packaging as much as I wish to. The Chardon. What flower is that? Chardon. Thistle. The thistle skirt. Ooh, that's pretty. I really want to make that as well because I think that's a really nice skirt. I also really want it in their new packaging, but they stopped doing their printed patterns, which I'm really sad about. I mean, I get it. I do get it. I said I wasn't going to put these all away, and I'm just putting them all away. I do get it with the change because there were 2 factories that did it, and now there's only one, and all the rest of it. And I get it, but I love the printed packaging. It makes me so happy. So yeah. Lisa says, let's guess what Charlotte's having for lunch. Fish and chips? Okay, not fish and chips. Well, I mean, technically, fish and chips. I mean, prawns and potatoes. So, I take on fish and chips. Nimori says, getting back into exercise is great, but boy, am I sore. Dance class started up again this week after summer break. My thighs feel the 4.5 hours. Oh, wow. Yeah, I want to start doing yoga again. I do want to start doing yoga again. Reorganizing my patterns into some kind of like semblance of order here. I know I've eaten on stream before. You guys don't mind, do you? Because my tummy is rumbling, so it's either eat with you guys or call it a day. And I'm enjoying chatting to you. Oh, come on. Sticky label does not want to come off. Rotten Ralph says eat. Michelle says enjoy your food. So does Nimue. Thank you guys. Like, we'll have a little mukbang session. There is an entire like genre of YouTube videos, isn't it, of people watching people eat. I do like this. I kind of wish there wasn't the pasta in it because I would. It up until that point it's keto, and then there's a few things of pasta in it, and I could eat around the pasta. But the meal deals, you get the salad, the drink, and like the side, and the sides are either crisps or chocolate or fruit, but they're like grapes, like a pot of grapes. It's all the fruit that you can't have on keto, so it's like, well, sod it. Let's just have some crisps, which is probably not the attitude to have. Our first Green Chef box arrived last night. Dad and I had a satay pork chop dish. Really nice. Really good. So, yeah. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Conchetta says, please eat. Take care of you first. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It would be like eat with you guys or hang up and then just sort of sit and chat to myself for the rest of the day. Just an email from Craftsy, 55% off multi-class bundles. I think it was Lisa. Craftsy is a good one to sign up for, because like their year membership is ridiculously inexpensive. It massively climbs for the year's renewal, so you have to keep in mind that. But you could totally give yourself an amazing course in sewing over a course of a year, and they have like machine classes on there and all sorts. So that's a really, I mean, again, that's the only one that I've got actual experience of. All of the other ones that we've talked about, like Stitch School, Stitch Sisters, Mimi G, all of those, Evelyn Wood, all of those ones, I've never experienced the classes, so I can't speak to those. I'm not saying that they're not good, obviously they're very good, but the only one that I've got actual experience of learning from is Craftsy. Let's see. Ralph says, Rock Ralph says, I just ate. Sue says, I'm doing circuit training tomorrow and Vinyasa yoga Thursday, both first time. Have done yin yoga. Ooh, nice. Sue is also eating. Amy says, we probably eat in front of you all the time. Are you still keto, Shan? I'm trying to be keto. I'm not doing very well at it. I definitely fell off the wagon after Wilson and I broke up. I was comfort eating, and to me, comfort eating is chocolate biscuits and crisps. And thankfully, I've not put all the weight back on because I'd lost 17 pounds and I still have. I'm maintaining. I'm staying at that weight. I want to lose 8 more pounds. And it's more that I want to be able to get back into my knee-high boots. A lot of my knee-high boots don't fit me because I put on weight very evenly over my entire body. So my calves have gotten a lot bigger than they used to be. And there are some boots that I just don't think I'm ever going to get back into, even though I've kept them for years and I'm sad about that and I need to get over it and sell them. But there are some boots that I will be able to fit into if I lose a little bit more weight. So I think I really do need to have a couple of months of being really strict on keto again, lose that 8 pounds, and then kind of do the low carb thing. Because I am, apart I'm not eating as much carbs as I used to. I'm not like living on pasta dishes, which I used to do as well. So yeah, but it's definitely not strict keto anymore. But comfort food was necessary when you break up, when you get your heart broken. Like comfort food, I've always been that way. I could very easily have shopped all of the fabric, and if I had the money, that might have been something that I did. But I didn't have that much spare cash, but I had enough spare cash to buy myself all of the chocolate biscuits, and I did. And like I say, I haven't put it back on. I have maintained.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
I didn't talk to you, Alexa. Shush. So yeah, I've maintained at the current weight, but I would like to lose 8 more pounds. So I'm gonna try and be a little bit stricter for a while. Michelle says crisps are good for the soul. It's all about balance. It is, exactly. Ron Ralph says I love Green Chef. Me too. Sal says not to get hugely political about it all, but it's the first live hangout with a king for us in the UK and Commonwealth countries. It is indeed. God save the king. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. She's been a constant in my life. The Queen's tried to kill me twice, actually. I can tell you those stories if you like. I think I've told you these before. Twice. Herself. In her cars. But yeah, then I used to live next door to her. She was my neighbour. She was a very good neighbour. She did have the occasional loud parties with aeroplanes flying overhead. But yeah, let's see if I can show you actually. Yeah. So Buckingham Palace, my house. And that is the that's where they the coaches and garages for the cars and stuff are. So this is all Buckingham Palace wall of the garden. Well, obviously that's the palace proper, but yeah, that's part of the palace as well. So yeah, She was my neighbour. She was a very good neighbour, just the occasional loud party. But yeah, it's kind of weird, very weird. Yeah. The only Jenny Sutton says, I want to try Green Chef. They seem to be the only one that does a carb-free option. They are, as far as I am aware. Sue says, ooh, I need something to help with menopause weight, cannot get it off. I've really enjoyed keto. Like I say, have fallen off the wagon because of heartbreak, but I'm trying to get back onto it. Nimoy says, usually it's the other way around and you're keeping me company for supper. Dance classes also mean I get home after my parents have eaten. Sue says, I used to be a size 8, now I'm a size 10 to 12. Yeah, I used to be a size 6 and now I'm a size 14. So I have more than doubled. Rotten Ralph says, Green Chef does keto boxes. They do indeed. They have like 30 meals and they have vegan, vegetarian, low carb, and then 5 of their meals are keto meals per week. So they were doing a deal. If you signed up, you got 40% off your first 2 boxes and then 20% off the next 2 boxes. My only complaint is they do meals for 2 or meals for 4. They don't do meals for 3. And given that it's a and I get it because it means the package sizes would be difficult to do. HelloFresh do it, and Green Chef are part of HelloFresh. So I do kind of understand because, you know, obviously multiples of 2, they just, if you just double the amount rather than for 3, there is a specific menu requirements that would mean they'd need to manufacture different packet sizes. So I do get it, but yeah, I wish they did it for 3. Mum and Dad have signed up for meals for 2, but as I say, it was the first one last night. Mum's away, so Dad and I had sauteed pork with kale and broccoli, and it was really good. Lisa says, Sue, trying to cut out gluten helped me enormously. Sue says, okay, thanks, Lisa. I do try to not eat bread, but it's hard. Yes, I miss bread. I miss potatoes. I've got crisps, so, you know, clearly I'm not missing them at the moment. I've got pasta in here as well. But keto worked for me. It's working for Mum and Dad as well. Dad's lost 19 pounds. Mum's lost about 18. So, Saskia says, Crafty also might have a good Black Friday sale. It's how I was able to afford it years ago. Nice. Lisa says, me too. I eat calico lentil cakes in place of bread. Lovely and gluten-free. Nice. Sue says, well, I've lost my waist. Thankfully, when I put weight on, I've done it evenly, so I still have a defined waist. But yeah, I can imagine it being very difficult if you've been a certain size for a long time and then something happens that you've got no control over. Sarah says, I'm getting married in a year and I joke with my fiance that I need to lose my wedding weight. I'm 103 pounds, so I'm not serious. I was going to say, there's nothing off you, Sarah. Rotten Ralph says, we do Brazilian cheese bread. Ooh, nice. Sue says, I've noticed more because sewing and measuring. Yeah. Renske says, still, it's most important how you feel. I just have the opposite problem, losing weight and not gaining. We need to, it would be nice if we could like each kind of balance each other out, wouldn't it? Michelle says, eating carbs is my public service to the world. Me off carbs equals angry smurf. Not good. I love that description. Sue's laughing at Alexa. Lisa says, Sue, gaining weight around your middle when menopause or postmenopause leaves you prone to heart issues. No gluten helps keep the weight off from around your middle. Giving up bread is difficult, don't get me wrong, and more so because of like how everything is packaged with some kind of bread content in it for, like, you know, takeaway food like sandwiches and wraps and things like that. It's possible to do it. I haven't actually. I don't eat bread I haven't eaten bread for months. No, that's not true. Dad bought a French stick for our gardener when he came so he can make him a sandwich, and there was half of it left. And he was supposed to be coming back the next day, and then he didn't. So they were like, please eat it. So I ate it with pate, and it was amazing. But that was a long time ago. That was 6-7 weeks ago. Yeah. Karen says, good morning from Long Island, New York. Finally having my morning coffee after feeding my furry overlords. Just wanted to let you know how much I love your beautiful cable sweater. Thank you. I'm very lucky that Mum agrees to knit for me as much as she do. Sue says, I know, I'm terrible at sticking with things. Yes. If they start working, because for me, keto was working because I was enjoying sorry, Jojo's just distracted me, but with a really exciting message. Yes, please, Jojo. Try Fox Hills. If you're still watching, try Fox Hills. Oh no, they're doing refurbishment. They're not taking appointments after. Yes, no, they're refurbishing. So it's all fancy for the retreat next year. But yay. What was I saying? I can do keto because I can have my cheese and bacon salad, and it's not telling me that I can't have things that I love. Like I can't have chocolate, but I can have dark chocolate and strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, double cream whipped with some dark grated chocolate over it is an approved keto dessert. You know, like it worked for me because there was stuff in there that I loved eating. It's difficult giving up bread and pasta, but I used to make myself like bolognese sauce, which I love, and I'll have it on tender stem broccoli instead because I don't like courgette, and I can't be bothered to make carrot spaghetti, but I'll have it on tender stem broccoli instead, and I enjoy that. So I can have cheese, I can have Parmesan cheese on it. So yeah. Amy says, I've been keto off and on for 5 years. I feel so much better, and after a while most of the carb cravings diminish, but it can be a struggle. We are all human. Yes, and definitely the heartbreak was just I wanted all the sugar. Lisa says, Crafty used to have loads of free patterns, and I used a lot of them to make and sell kids' clothes, but no free patterns now though. Oh, that's sad. Monica says, I eat a vegan diet, but what about a Diane? Is she doesn't tell you what to eat. She teaches you how to fast and the feast to eliminate what might be giving you issues for your body. She also goes over our mindset, how we think about ourselves moving into these older age stages. Yeah, I think that's the other thing as well. It can't be a diet. It's got to be a lifestyle change. This is sugar-free, by the way, which I know it's got the other things in it. I'm not preaching what I'm talking about whilst I'm sitting here and eating this in front of you. It does satisfy my sweet tooth at the moment. Like I said, I want to get back into it because I want to lose those last 8 pounds, and I don't think that's an unreasonable amount. It would mean that I would be 11 stone. I used to be 9.5, 9, even down to 8.5 when I was younger. But I mean, then I also had a 23-inch waist. So life happens. Christine says, I cannot stick to diets that say I cannot eat certain foods. Eek. Yeah, and again, for me, I tried Weight Watchers, I tried Noom, which were like, you can have everything in moderation. But the moderation on the foods that I loved was so tiny that it didn't work for me. It's got to be a lifestyle change that works for you. It can't be a diet. Diets don't work in the long run, at least in my experience. So Weight Watchers and Noom restricted the stuff that I love, and unfortunately all the stuff that they were like, you can have loads of this, I didn't like. So keto works really well for me, and yes, it's telling I can't have potatoes, bread, pasta, but I can have all the other stuff that I love in quantity. So that's why it works for me, because I have given up something, but I am getting something so good in return that it's worth it to me. Nimue says, as a German doctor turned comedian once said, I was born weighing a few pounds and have gained weight ever since. Perfectly normal. His way of saying not to stress too much, within reason, obviously. Caroline says, back in the 70s, when mum dieted, the trend was to cut out bread and potatoes. Oops, certain ad into the misspell, bless him. I know I'm saying his name wrong. I need to learn how to say it properly. Sal says, the bad thing about living in the heart of Sydney, I have all the major takeaway places. within 10-minute walk, so not good for the diet. Yeah, that's one thing I miss about Wilson's flat, is the proximity to every food that I could ever want. But I always managed to find something keto related in a menu. So yeah, when we went to the Wolverton show the other day, and there's a burger joint there, the best burger company, I think it was called. He did the catering at James and Nia's wedding, and we went prepared. We took cutlery with us and bag to put it in and napkins, and we had our burgers bun free. And the burgers themselves, probably because we hadn't made them, they probably had some kind of like breadcrumbs in them to make them stick together. But we had bacon, cheese, and onions on them. And we sat there with our cutlery eating our burgers without the buns. Everyone looked at us like we were bonkers, but we're all doing keto, and it was a way of having a treat on a day out that otherwise would have been really difficult to eat, because you can't, the bun makes a burger pick upable. But yeah, it was like Nando's. Nando's is a really good one. Order a couple of sides of broccoli, half a chicken, done. Sue says she's going to look into keto. I mean, if it works for you, that's wonderful. I really like it. Not eating it at the moment. It's it really did work for me. Like I said, I lost 17 pounds over October, November, December, January, and then it all kind of just went horribly wrong diet-wise. But I've maintained. I haven't put any of that weight back on. I haven't put any of those 17 pounds back on. So. Rotten Ralph says Brazilian cheese bread is grain-free. It's tapioca starch, oil, milk, and egg. I'm allergic to everything people eat. No grains or legumes for me. Oh, cheese bread though. I mean, it sounds amazing. Lisa says, I'm type 2 diabetic, but now only diet controlled. 3 years ago, I lost a lot of weight, and size 22 down to size 14 bottom, 16 top. Paid $7,500 to have belly removed. Now size 16 bottom, 18 top. Wow. It's amazing that it's diet controlled. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know very much about diabetes, so I can't really comment on that, but very cool. Caroline says, supper tonight is chicken in cream sauce with broccoli. Mark will have potato. I don't often. Nice. Yeah, I think that's one thing, is Dad says he does miss potatoes. Like we do every now and again, we will do like a really elaborate roast chicken with cauliflower cheese. And it's all keto because the cheese sauce, I don't put any corn flour in to thicken it. So I bake it all, and it's delicious. But it doesn't have anything to soak up all that sauce. So I do get Dad's point of view, like the potatoes would round this out nicely, but it would also mean that all the fat content in the meal that we've eating would be excessive, because the whole point of keto is that you get your calories and energy levels from fat, not from the protein or the carbs. So yeah, I get that. Olivia says, good morning. I must have missed a lot. Sean, to you and your entire country, I'm sorry for the loss of your queen. My heart is broken for your loss. Thank you. Yeah, I was in the car driving back when I heard it on the radio officially announced. I already knew because of certain reasons, but to have it officially announced, I did burst into tears. And I know it's a very controversial subject for a lot of people, which is why I've not really talked about it. But yeah, it is sad. It's a constant that's gone, and we have a king now, which is weird. Our national anthem has changed. Our stamps will change. Our money will change. Everything's going to change. It's very odd. But yes. Sue says, I've just had a look at keto. I'm surprised at the foods to eat and not eat. if it's something that you're interested in, Green Chef is a really good way of starting because they do pre-prepared meals for you. And like I say, at the moment they've got 40% off first 2 boxes, 20% off the second. So it makes it like £3.22 per meal. So it's a really good way of starting because it gives you some recipe cards and all the stuff that you need with no waste. And I found some really good recipes on there. So that for me worked really well. Sal says, I would love to lose 20 kilos, 44 pounds, just so I can look great in a 3-piece suits again. That's a lot. But again, I think it's all Philip DeFranco. He's another one. He's just he's got polycystic kidney disease, and he always knew when he came to his mid-30s that he was going to have issues with his health. And he had diverticulitis recently, and he's completely changed how he lives. And he's dropped a bunch of weight because of the changes that he's made to his diet and his exercise regime. And he talks about this himself. He's like, you know, nobody telling me to do this thing was going to make me do the thing. And people telling me that I was overweight, telling me that this and that and the other, it's just making me feel worse. It wasn't making me want to, you know, it wasn't until like I had a proper wake-up call. And he's lost a bunch of weight. He's nearly under the 200-pound mark. And he's just talking about how healthy he feels now and the foods that he's making and enjoying. And I think it's one of those things that there comes a point where, like for me, it was the video that Big Bird took of me on the beach in Shanklin this time last year. And that was when I was at my biggest. And it was just like, oh, wow. And I hadn't really noticed how big I'd gotten. And I know I wasn't big, but for me, I was. It's always such a sensitive topic when you talk about weight. And when I mentioned in the video the other day that was like, oh, you know, hemming the orchid dresses, like the tummy. I do have a protruding tummy. I hide it really well. Because of the way I dress, but I do have, and I've always had a flat stomach, always, until recently, until the last sort of 4 years. And it's just one of those things. I get it, but it's something that I've never had to deal with before. And somebody commented, oh, you don't have a tummy, stop it. And it was just like, actually I do. And it's not big in the grand scheme of things, but it's big to me, and it's something that I do disguise. So yeah, weight and weight loss and food can be very divisive to talk about, and people can get very upset with people for saying, oh, you know, I was big at this weight. And it's not, I'm never saying anything that is directed at anyone else. It's all about me and how I felt about myself. So yeah, that video that I saw of myself is still up on Instagram. I left it there, but I saw myself in it, and I was just like, actually, like, I was a lot bigger than I ever remembered being. And yeah, I mean, it actually was Wilson's idea to do keto, and he didn't need to lose any weight. He did lose weight. We were at Christmas time, something came up and we were talking, and it was like, oh no, it was his, we were talking to his brother, and it was like, oh no, it was his suggestion to start keto. And then it suddenly was like, oh God, was it because I was getting too big? Like, I don't know. He never said that I was. He never thought that I was. He always said that he thought I was lovely, but yeah. Diana says, I've lost 35 pounds in the last 6 months. I eat keto and have been walking 5 kilometers 6 days a week. My appetite has just been way down because of grief as well. Yeah, many very gentle hugs for you, but that's amazing that you've lost the 35 pounds, and the walking is awesome. That's something I want to get back into, but my knee, every time I start walking, my knee just goes, nope. How dare you? Because Dad's even offered to take Mum and I, because the village that we live in now, there's a hill like this down to the seafront, but if you get down there, it's not too bad. And then there's a walk from this village through the next village and over to the next village along the seafront, along the esplanade, which is beautiful. As long as it's not peeing down with rain, doesn't matter if it's cold or hot, it's gorgeous. And I would love to do that. And it's a 5-kilometer walk there and back. And I would love to do that. And I would happily, I don't think Mum would do it all the time, but I would happily do it every day. And Dad has very kindly offered to drop us off down there and pick us back up so that we don't have to walk back up that hill. And then the entire way back to our house is on a gentle incline, but the first hill is really steep. But even trying to do it on a flat surface, my knee is just like, nope. So yeah, that sucks. Rotten Ralph says pancetta and parsley salad, fresh lime, parmesan parsley. You render the pancetta and use rendering as dressing. Amazing. Yeah, we do that frequently. Sal says just going on the Neverland kids diet from Peter Pan. Michelle says Nando's. We don't have them in Bermuda. It's my favorite takeaway when I'm in the UK. Nice. But you can do that keto. You can do that keto. Olivia says, I'm back on keto. The pandemic caused me to seek comfort food. I had lost 60 pounds on keto. The failure was mine. I'm doing carnivore and intermittent fasting. That's the other thing. I've kind of ended up doing intermittent fasting on keto because fat is so satiating that I found that I wasn't getting very hungry. I was having a light snack and then, or a large lunch, and then a light snack, or a light snack, then a large lunch, and then not eating for about 16 hours and not struggling on that at all, not being hungry. So that was something that I did find on keto, that I ended up doing intermittent fasting by accident. Rotten Ralph says, Sean, do you follow Chef John at Food Wishes? He has recipes for everything. It's fun. I haven't. No, I will add that to the list. Thank you. Olivia says, I have fibromyalgia and keto has helped. On YouTube, Dr. Westerman has a channel called Adapt Your Life, I think. He is a specialist regarding overweight people. All these really good channels coming out. Thank you. Rotten Ralph says to Sal, I need to lose the 40 pounds I gained during COVID. Michelle says, Bermuda is a British overseas territory. It's very weird for me too. It's very surreal. Yeah. Yeah, everything's going to change, isn't it? It's very odd. Sue says, I know how you feel. Everyone says there's nothing of me, but I notice it. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the thing. It's like how you feel in your skin dictates, you know, I mean, your feelings, obviously. So, Nicola says, I have digestive issues and have to follow a strict low FOD MAP diet. So it's restrictive and has a huge impact on my and my family's life. I kind of know what that is. It's something to do with histamines and things in food. I think I have that right, Nicola, but I'm not 100% sure. And again, to anybody, like, as much as I'm saying how much I love keto, I am not an expert. I am not the person whose advice to take. I enjoy it. It works for me. I need to get back onto it. I need to be better about my sugar intake. I'm a sugar addict. I have been for my entire life, and giving it up was difficult, but I did it. And then heartbreak, so I just started eating all the sugar again. So yeah, not great, but I will get there. I will get there eventually. Olivia says, people don't understand how you personally feel about the body you live in. You know. Yeah. Lisa says, I've gained a couple of stones since having my belly removed. My own fault, eating crap, now trying to be better. Monica says, agree, weight loss and how you feel in your body is very personal and all the feelings need to be respected. Well said, Sean. Thank you. Again, whenever I talk about how I feel about my body and, you know, my tummy or my butt or my boobs or anything like that, it's never to be like anyone else who looks the way I do is, you know, like when I was 13 stone, which was my biggest, like, it was never like, oh, that's a really bad weight to be. It was just not good for me and my mental health. So yeah. Sue says, I could never gain weight when I was younger and too skinny. I managed it, but yeah, I did. If I even like, I could lose it incredibly easily as well, and I haven't been able to do that. But again, bodies change as you get older. Carolyn says, I miss walking like that, but I'm scared of having a knee replaced. Such a major operation. Yes. Sarah says, Nicola, I was on the FODMAP for a while, so I could sympathise. Didn't notice much difference in my problems, so was glad that I could stop. Made it very hard to eat out and go over to friends for dinner. Olivia says, my husband and my sister, along with myself, got COVID at the beginning of this year. We lost my sister in February. My husband was in hospital and I struggled to take care of myself, so I ate sandwiches. I'm so sorry, Olivia. Lisa says, I've never looked at keto. Can you do keto if you don't eat meat? I use carbs to fill up on, so what can you eat on keto to replace the carbs? Again, I'm not an expert. I'm sure that you probably can eat keto without having to have meat, but I don't know because I do eat meat. I made myself very, very ill when I tried vegetarianism. Very ill indeed for about 6 months. So I am definitely not an expert. But yeah. Sal says, after work, I have been exercising by taking the train to Sydney Opera House, reading a chapter of book, and then walking home, which is about 10,000 steps, 10k steps. Exercise, mind, body. Nice. Yeah, I kind of fancy like doing that walk along the seafront with an audio book if Mum didn't want to come with me. But like I say, my knee, even with my knee support on, it still doesn't behave. Rotten Ralph says to Nicola, I have severe lectin intolerance, so I feel for you. Olivia says to Lisa, no, keto is an animal-based way of life. Didn't know that. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. The point of keto is that you're meant to be getting your calories, a high percentage of your calories from fat. And yeah, lots of meat and fish. If you eat fish, you could probably do it, but if you don't eat anything like that, then no. But again, not an expert, so don't take my word for it. Nimue says, I never found the discipline to change my diet. It would be difficult cooking around my mum as well. But exercise and watching my portions had me at a comfortable weight until the pandemic. Yeah, I think when I moved to the island, like when I started working as I do, like I mean, my job was never particularly energetic, but I did do a lot of standing up all day at the casino. So it used to make me laugh because we'd have to pour ourselves into those bunny outfits. But then they would serve like a full fried breakfast. There were no healthy options for the lunches, breakfast and dinners, because once an employee enters a casino for their 8-hour shift, they can't leave. So you have to bring in everything with you that you want, so food and stuff like that. And the company does feed you, but none of them were healthy options. So we were expected to look a certain way in our uniforms, but then being fed stuff that was just like gonna make us bigger. So they changed that eventually. But yeah. Rachel says, my doctor suggested a low FODMAP for my digestive issues. It sort of helped. I ended up doing some more testing with the doctor, and it turns out that I have sucrose intolerance. Ah, interesting. And again, sucrose is in so much stuff because of the sugar tax. No. Lisa says, thanks to Olivia, probably best sticking to Slimming World diet. Marie says, hello everyone. Just jumped in to say hello while I have a quick coffee. Oh, Marie, you totally inspired today's outfit with your Bruyere shirt. It was either going to be this dress or the teal one. But yeah, I loved how your Bruyere turned out. It's gorgeous. Olivia says thumbs up to Lisa, and Lisa's got a smiley face. Carolyn says, Lisa, can't eat any meat, no beef, chicken, fish or game. Liver issues. Hubby tried keto, so I tried it. About starved to death. Lots of cheese, but not much that is filling for me. Yeah, no, I mean, that was my kind of take on vegetarianism. And yeah, it made me very ill. Mary says, hello from Carlisle in Ohio. Hello. Welcome. Lisa says to Carolyn, I eat salmon and haddock, etc., but prefer not to eat meat. Only just started having dairy milk and 50% fat reduced cheese. Was only having vegan cheese and almond milk. Carolyn says doctors also warn keto can be hard on the kidneys. It wasn't meant to be followed long term. Take breaks and then resume. Yes. The book that we have, there's 2 sections in it. One of them is the weight loss strict keto section, and then the other one is the low carb section for once you've got to the weight that you want to be at to maintain. So yeah, you can ketosis is what you want to be in, but there's ketoacidosis, which is when your blood, the ketones in your blood turn acidic, which is really bad for you. So everything has its upsides and downsides. I do feel a lot better when I eat keto and don't have carbs, but that's feeling better, and then the taste levels is what I need to get my head around. But yeah, it's definitely, again, no expert here, so it's definitely something that you want to look into before you jump into it. Sal says, by the way, the book I'm reading is the 125th anniversary edition of Dracula. Almost finished it, my first time reading it. Very cool. Diana says, very disappointed. Just found out we can't have London for our next tour of duty. I was hoping to meet you. Oh, well, where are you off to next? Maria says, I did spot your dress. I'm looking at getting the green colourway next. Oh, the emerald one. Me too. I love that emerald. I mean, I love all the new colours. They're so bright and fabulous. Yeah. Carolyn says, Sal, just finished Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for the 3rd time. Need to read Dracula. Lisa says, just got an air fryer doing tray bake tonight. Courgette, peppers and onions and a small amount of potato with breaded haddock. Yummy. Rotten Mouth says to Sal, your first time through Dracula. Oh, I'm jealous. I wish I could read it for the first time again. Christine says, everything in moderation is the best diet, except chocolate, crisps and wine, which are definitely part of your 5 a day. I think that's my problem, is moderation. I can't have a packet of crisps or a packet of biscuits and not eat the entire thing in one sitting. It's not good. Sarah says, everything in moderation. That's my point of view on diet culture. I dislike that you can't eat this. Yeah. But like I say, for me, that didn't work. I think it's more my mental relationship with food than my physical relationship with food that needs work. But yeah, I think, again, it's finding something that works for you, that's healthy, and can be a lifestyle choice rather than I'm on a diet and I'm starving myself until I hit this weight, because invariably you then start eating like you did before and then you start putting it all back on. Diana says, looks like Bangkok or Prague. Both will be very cool. Yeah, James is talking to Nia about his next posting. They're hoping for London, but it might end up being Italy. Olivia says, just be aware there is a doctor on YouTube that has a keto channel. He's a chiropractor. He's trying to sell you products and give dangerous advice at the moment. Cannot remember his name. Ooh, not good. Sal says to Rotten Ralph, indeed, my first time reading it through and in style, as my book has been signed by Bram Stoker's great-grand-nephew. Lisa says, my problem is going to be Lidl. Their fruit and nut bar is yum, and I have to eat the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, I have issues with portion control when it comes to sweets and treats. I can't just have one cookie. Sue says, lovely chatting to everyone. Need to pop to Hobbycraft and get cotton for the jersey. Have a lovely afternoon all. You too. Nice to join. Nice for you to join us. Thank you very much. Lisa says, and I'm diabetic. Yeah, no, you need to be careful then. And she says bye to Sue as well. Olivia says Dr. Westman and Berry are actual doctors. Nice. Having said that, I'm going to a chiropractor tomorrow for this. So many of you recommended it. There was one at the show. I spoke to them. I'm going for an hour's appointment for an assessment and an actual whatever they do, which will be interesting. My pain clinic appointment has been moved from the 19th of September to the 31st of October. So that sucks. But yeah. Rotten Ralph says, Italy is a lovely post. We were in Naples. I loved it. Nice. Anissa says, good morning, everyone. I slept in. Lol. That's all right. Thank you for joining us. Teresa says, Sean, I love your sweater. The colour is awesome. You're so lucky to have a mum that can knit so beautifully. Good morning to all from Wisconsin. I know. I'm so lucky. Nimue says, every time Bernadette Banner makes herself a cup of tea with her 2 biscuits on the dainty plate, I think that's the way I should do it. But biscuits, I managed not to eat an entire box. See, I have no such self-restraint. I can buy a box with 8 biscuits in it, and I can manage to limit myself to 4 in a day. But, yeah. Rotten Ralph says to Sal, you're making me jealous at every turn. Carolyn says to Sal, that's awesome. By the way, for those who are interested, both Frankenstein and Dracula on Audible. Ooh, cool. Olivia says to Lisa, my husband is diabetic also. He was told by his doctors that if he kept up good work, he could get off all of his meds. Oh, cool. Lisa says to Olivia, I've been off almost for 3 years, just recently fallen off the wagon. It's been really good for the last 3 years. Olivia says, as a sugar junkie, all he heard was you can eat whatever you want in moderation. The doctors never said that. And Lisa says, lol. And Olivia says, good for you. To Lisa. Right, nearly finished. Then we can look at the now and then patterns. Okay. Okay, I'm doing the card with a bit of lettuce hanging out of my mouth. That was very tasty. Very tasty indeed. So, we've been through the excess Dear and Doe patterns that I've got. I could totally do Make 9 with all of Dear and Doe again next year, but that will probably be a bit boring. I might still try and do it as like a mini side project for me to get through those patterns because there's so many pretty ones. And it was a really nice motivation having Make 9 to do this year. But let's see. Sorry, somebody just mentioned a pattern. So Sarah says, have you tried the Vogue 8789? Let's have a look. Oh, I think I have that one. So a vintage style pattern. She says the bodice is very like the Anna bodice, which you are not incorrect about. That one is very like the Anna bodice, and I like the V-neck as well. Do I have that one? 8789. Let's have a quick shufty, shall we? 8789 vintage. I actually don't. I can definitely see myself liking it, but like you say, because it's so similar to the Anna, I probably wouldn't spend money on it because I already have something that's very, very similar. That's something else I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of, rather than just buying every new pattern that comes out because it's new and shiny and I like the style. I'm trying to be a little bit more thoughtful about what it actually is, looking at it, and if I have something that's similar or I could tweak to get the same effect, because I do have, as you guys know, a lot of stuff. I'm trying to be better. There are some patterns that come out that I'm just like, yes, no, I'm buying that because it's gorgeous. But yeah, I do like it, and I see what you mean about the 8789, but I probably won't buy it because I have the Anna, if that makes sense. Rotten Ralph says, I would tell you if you had lettuce stuck on your mouth. Thank you. Sal says to Rotten Ralph, would the jealousy be worse if you knew that I've talked with Bram Stoker's great-grandnephew via Facebook Messenger and email? Kelly says, I love your channel. I am binge watching. Oh, thank you, Kelly, and welcome. Rotten Ralph says to Sal, perhaps, but I don't think I would be an interesting conversationalist. Sarah said, I made it up and the sleeves made me think of you. Yeah, it is a lovely dress. I mean, do not get me wrong, it is a really, really lovely dress. And you're right, it's very kind of like the grown-on sleeve. So it's enhancing the hourglass shape. So if I had, it wouldn't have surprised me at all if I had it. Yeah, this is 33 calories. I really shouldn't have it because it's such a sweet drink, but my little sweet taste buds are just like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, yeah. Olivia says, have any of you seen the new Simplicity patterns? I haven't gone through them yet, actually. Carolyn says, all things in moderation except fabric. Carolyn, I like how you think. And so apparently does Olivia. Yes, I do like how you think very much there. Right, my now and then patterns. I think I have majority of the patterns that they have out. There's a few that I don't have. So yeah. Lisa says, I wish I could wear dresses like that. I have bingo wings like Dumbo ears. Oh, we need to be kinder to ourselves. We need to use language. I've heard that a lot recently, actually. We say stuff to ourselves that we would never say to our worst enemies. And whilst we can recognize truths about ourselves, about the way our appearance and things that we dislike about ourselves, we need to be kind to ourselves of the way we talk to ourselves. So yeah, it's not that I'm telling you off, Lisa, at all. Sorry, didn't mean to come across as stern, strict mom there. But yeah, we need to use kind language to ourselves because we deserve it. We deserve being talked kindly to. Olivia says, I watched Rochelle's channel and she showed some that I think I will be getting on the next sale at Joanne. I need to have a look. I tend to not try and look at the Simplicity ones too often because they're not on the Something Delightful site yet. So they don't get featured in the, I don't know if Simplicity's website do the free shipping. I need to have a look at that. Oh gosh, oh dear. Anyway, let's have a look at the patterns that I do own that I have yet to make up. So the first one, now and then patterns, are all kind of vintage inspired. So first one is the Richmond blouse, which I really like all the options on there. I think they are very cute, and I think it's a very me pattern, and you could definitely have some fun with color blocking. So I definitely need to make that one up. Jojo sent me another message. She knows, you know, I'm still live on here, so I'm guessing you don't mind the yes, please, for the mid-November, Jojo. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. 100% yes. I wonder, can you bring Jillykins with you? What can we make in mid-November? What have I got scheduled? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, but no, please, that would be amazing. And my friend who lives in Cyprus has said that I should come and visit him. And he's just sent me a message. I said I shall make a plan to come and visit him in September, October. He's like, hi, babe, how are you? How's your plan coming along? It's 31 degrees, sunny without cloud in the sky. Stop it. I won't be able to go this year, but he, like I say, he owns his house in Cyprus, so I will see if, when he's there next year, and I'll go then, because obviously the because of the retreat got cancelled, my spending money has dried up, but that's fine. It's fine. I can stay at home and work really hard this November, September, October, November, and it'll be good. It'll all be fine. But yeah, the Richmond blouse, haven't made that up yet, but need to. He says, sorry, not sorry. Terrible. Terrible. Where did I get to with the chat? Lisa says, I think we actually have flying squirrel DNA. Sorry, that's hilarious, Lisa. I love it. And you're laughing at yourself. This is good. Rob Ralph says, sometimes you need to be told not to say unkind things to yourself. He's still texting me. Paul, I'm here until the end of October if you can get out. Hang on. Right. Sorry. Just saying, he's teasing me with like the glorious views of his pool in Cyprus. It's evil. I told him so. Let's see. Olivia says she even showed one aimed at men, but she's buying it for herself because of the utility vest, and I'm liking that idea. Ooh, cool. Rotten Ralph says, Lisa Fenn, indeed. Laughing face, squirrel emoji. Lisa's laughing. Olivia says to Lisa, me too. Rotten Ralph, I says, I have squirrel brain. You guys. Laurel says, I have the Richmond and leaf print rayon challis earmarked for it. Such a pretty pattern, but I need to make adjustment for my square shoulders. Oh, yeah, because they're raglan sleeves, aren't they? I love all the versions of that. Lisa says, I bought a lovely dress on Amazon for the summer with a sheared bodice and puff sleeves. Very lovely, but felt too self-conscious to wear it. I felt huge in it. Oh, I think that's the thing, isn't it? You need to feel fabulous in what you wear, whatever it is. Got an itchy eyeball. Sorry. Excuse me. My itch said eyeball. was eyelid actually, but yeah. Yeah, you need to feel good about it. It doesn't matter if you like the thing. If you don't feel good in the thing, you're never going to look great in the thing because of the way you feel in it. Confidence is key, 100%. Olivia says to me, I always tell my grandkids, if you wouldn't say things like that to your friends, why would you say it to or about yourself? Yes, yes. And we do need to get better about being kind to ourselves. Linda says, hi Peeps, I know you're talking about weight eating disorders is very triggering, but it's comforting to know that you aren't the only ones with struggles. No way I could eat moderately where chocolate or sugar. No way I could eat moderately where chocolate and sugar are concerned. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, it's such a fraught topic, and you do have to be so careful about it. And anytime I ever say anything, it's always about me and my experiences and my feelings about me, not my feelings about other people. So yeah. Rotten Ralph says, Olivia, I always say, if you would fight with someone who said that about your friend, why would you want to fight with yourself? Yeah, we do need to be kind to ourselves. Linda says, new video idea. You could always find the best advent calendars. You could do a roundup of some. Possibly, but they are quite expensive, and I'm doing a long experiment in that kind of way, because Dad has asked for a specific one this year. Mum's being difficult. So we're trying to work out exactly what she wants, and then Rachel and I hopefully are doing each other's this year. But yeah, like I can highly recommend the ones that we've had previously, and I will start putting links to those in the description because you do need to buy them ahead of time. Yeah, good idea though. I like it. I just don't have the money to back it up, unfortunately, not at the moment. But yeah. So the next one we've got is the Evelyn blouse or the Evelyn blouse. I've made 2 of these so far, and both of them were wearable muslins. Neither of them have been successful. The last one I made, actually somebody told me that it looked too tight on me, and that because I was quite happy with it, and I was all gung-ho gonna cut into my 35 a meter silk to make it up, and then somebody mentioned that it was too tight on me, and I was like, maybe it is. So I need to get this one out again because I've lost weight since I made that one, so I need to try it again in a inexpensive fabric, and then I've got quite a few cuts of silk fabric specifically bought for this one because I think I'm going to really like it. So I do need to make that one up. We've got the Clara bow blouse. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. 1930s, really pretty. I love all the options on this one. They've also got one that's not illustrated but with a longer sleeve, and the sleeve is darted, so it might not be quite so uncomfortable. So yeah, that's a really nice one. This is a company that I'm thinking about for next year's Make 9 for those that weren't here when I first started waffling 3 hours ago. Olivia says, it's currently 58 degrees and drizzling here in my corner of Iowa. Not complaining because it's been so hot out here. I have my doors open and my husband says it's too cold. He's now in his TV room. 58 degrees equals 14 degrees centigrade. That is chilly. That is chilly. You're like my dad. He'd be like, yes, let's have the entire house open so we can get the fresh air breezing through. And Mum and I are sitting there like, chilly. Next, we have the Florin Wrap Dress and Skirt. The very lovely Andre actually sent this to me last year, and I never got around to making it. Now, there was no kind of like, I'll send you the pattern and you have to make it up in a specific time frame, but I did feel bad that I didn't get to it last year. I really like this, and I think this is another candidate that could be really good for like a pinafore style dress. It does come with sleeves, and you can make a skirt one out of it as well. And I'm assuming because you could probably make kind of like a wrap top out of it as well if you wanted to. I really like this. I do want to make this up. I already have the fabric picked out. It's the Hoffman Dragonfly fabric that Mim, is it Mim? I think it's you, Mim, that loves that Hoffman fabric. Did I get that right? Olivia says, I agree with the fabric wash and very fresh air is what is needed. Washing very. Dang, talk to text. Yeah, Dad's constantly like, just like, everything open. It's really lovely. You just need to walk around a bit. And Mum and I, so like, we have a sedentary job. We sit and we sew or knit. We're not going to keep our body temperatures as high as you do, because you are constantly walking around and we are not. Having said that, I still have the door open from when Dad let Susie wander free earlier. So, yeah. Now and Then Melody Dress Collection. I love all of these. Absolutely love all of these. They are all bias cut, and they have side plackets for openings, and it's gorgeous, but I'm terrified of it. Yeah, but it is lovely, and I would like to yeah. And I was right, Mim, my fabric of unconventional love. Yes, well, I'm thinking I'm going to make this dress with that fabric. I think that's what I'm going to do. But given how, so the reason that I thought of this company as my make name for the next year is that I really liked this style on me. Now, obviously, this is not a bias cut dress, but I'm thinking, like, because I like this one so much, this might look quite nice on me. I am going to be trying to do the Sicily Slit dress next month, which is a bias cut dress. So I'm thinking I might, from there, be able to decide whether I like bias cut dresses on me or not. Let's see. Roscoe says, ooh, I love that one too, the Melody dress. Yes, it is very pretty. Rotten Ralph says it's currently 27 degrees in Central Florida. Nice. Oh, sorry, I got another message. Lisa says, okay, Shan, in order to give my granddaughter a bedroom where she stays with me fortnightly, I gave up my big sewing room and now I have a tiny box room, donated 30 black sacks of fabrics and patterns. I would like to make a few simple items. Where are the best patterns for beginners, please? Like I say, you don't like tilling the buttons, do you? Okay. McCall's Butterick do have an easy to sew section, so they're good ones to start with. Don't listen to Vogue when they say that their patterns are easy. Vogue is a slightly more advanced level of drafting and the slightly less advanced level of description in the instructions. So I wouldn't say the Vogue easy ones necessarily are easy. There is a lot of assumed knowledge in there, but the McCall's and Butterick Learn to Sew patterns are pretty good. I would say try some of those, but bear in mind that you want to look at the tissue paper for the finished garment measurements, not what the pattern envelope says, because I've done a whole video on it. The pattern envelope's fib, and what they call a close-fitting dress is not close-fitting. So definitely have a look at the video I did about that, and yeah, the easy to sew patterns from the McCall's ones. The 8167 might be good. It might be a good one to have a look at. I really like that dress. I've made 2 of them and I'm going to start wearing them again now that, because they were long sleeved. So yeah. Rotten Ralph says, I have 2 slips on my to-do list and a few bras. I would like to make this one that Alex sent me, because Alex sent me this in the she sent me this and also the rodeo shirt from Decades of Style. So I really want to get to this at some point soon. Renzo says, perfect name for a pattern for me. The Melody, or the Melody. Oh yes, because notes afterwards, that makes sense. Mim says, but please make a wearable muslin first, because the fabric is very precious to me. I will, I promise. Olivia says, I'm going to be in Nashville October 1st. Just watched Jen at Friday Sews and she talked about Sustainable Fabric Shop. The fabric is free in Knoxville. Has anyone been there? Oh, cool. Diana says, 31 degrees centigrade here in Pretoria. So happy. It's also apparently that hot in Cyprus currently as well. I am jealous. Carol says, good morning from New York. Good morning. Olivia says, Vogue is very vague. McCall's easy to sew are great. Yes. Yes, there is a lot of assumed knowledge in Vogue instructions, although apparently, like I say, they're meant to be getting better next year. Carol says, do you have any of the old wardrobe patterns? If so, you could make 9 out of 1 pattern. I do have a couple left. Hang on. I did think about that. Do I still have them? They had their own section for a while. They did have their own section. Oh no, I've got more. Okay, yeah. Yes, no, I did think about that as a make 9. I've got some here. That was a possibility. Great minds think alike, Carol. Monica says, I need to look into all my sweater patterns, turtlenecks for winter here in Canada. Yeah, I need to make some more named powder t-shirts. Olivia says to Monica, has your Canadian heat wave subsided? Right, so the next one is the Lana tea dress. It's another bias cut dress. Can also be a top, I think. It's gorgeous again. I love the neckline. I love the sleeve options. Really like that one. These are all dresses that terrify me as well. So this make 9 would be a real challenge. The Ritz pleat dress. I love this. They've actually made up a sample in it's a silk see-through rose print fabric on like this one, but on a black background with a slip underneath. Oh, it's beautiful. And that fabric was like £35 a meter, and I've been eyeing it up and eyeing it up. This is absolutely gorgeous. Again, terrifying because bias cut. And then the final one is the All Seasons dress and skirt, which I do really like. And again, because it's got so many different options on there, it could be quite a good wardrobe builder one. So yeah, I'm thinking that maybe could be now and then patterns for, because I've obviously got the beach pajamas as well, which I have made and done a sew along for. So maybe this one for my make 9 next year. Maybe. Tidying up as I go. That never happens. Right, let's have a look at these wardrobe patterns. Because I do think that is a good idea, Carol. It was something else that I was considering for make 9. Right. Where did I get to with the cat? Monica says, I need to look into all my sweater patterns. I've read that one. Carol says, I have one that I think I've made about 17 garments from using only the dress and the skirt. Oh, cool. Mim says, I bought a Robert Kaufman fabric from Modes for You, which is a similar colour palette with butterflies and birds and flowers, but your dragonfly one is unreachable. Oh, that's so sad. Modes for You are closing as well. I'm so sad when I got that email. Very sad. Saskia says, I still haven't bit the bullet on my first dress from the pattern McCall's 8083, but I think I might order the fabric soon. Ooh, yay. Alicia is here. Hello from Ohio. Hello. Nimora says, I could never be a batch cutting sewist. My back doesn't agree with it. Cut out my lining and now have to do it all over again for the outer. Oh, you can do it though. It'll be worth it in the end. Vanessa says, currently 8 degrees in Northwest Ontario, Canada, and I've got everything open, lol. You and my dad would totally get on as well. Saskia says, the patterns you're showing are also nice, aren't they pretty? Resge says, do now and then also have PDF patterns. They do have some of theirs on PDF patterns, and they're working on putting more of them into PDF. It is something that Andre is working on. Alethea says, I have a question about pinking shears. Do you have to cut the pattern out with pinking shears, or do you use the shears after you've sewn the seam? Personally, I use the shears after I've sewn the seam. That's my personal preference. Monica says, yes, a bit. I was away all of the summer in Portugal, so I missed our heat wave. I feel the mornings are much cooler for sure. Wolf, Dark Eyes, Moon, Water. New viewer, I'm hopeful to relearn sewing techniques from you. So as you came recommending, I do my sewing beginning to mid-fall and early spring. With this in mind, how do you store your fabrics? Like this. I mean, I'm very lucky. I have an entire room for fabric storage, pattern storage, and sewing. I used to store them before I had a room. I would store them in a wardrobe, and before they outgrew it, I had some IKEA boxes that lived under the bed, but my fabric stash outgrew them very quickly. But welcome, and hopefully you find the channel helpful. Renske says, with customs, everything from the UK got so expensive. Yeah. Lisa says, easy to sew section. Okay, I'll have a look at McCall's and Butterick. I like loose fitting clothes, so we'll look at those. Thanks. Have a look at the McCall's 8167. It's a really pretty dress. I like it a lot, and I've got a full sew along for it for you as well. Carolyn says, a tilting draft table, some tape, and you can trace much more comfortably with no bending. Just have it, yeah. Wolf Dark Eyes Moon Water says, my grandmother placed them in butcher's paper. Ah, okay. I've never done that. I've always just shoved them in a box. A waterproof box, but a box. And then a cupboard. And now here. Sal says, currently 14 degrees centigrade here in my part of Sydney at 11:30 p.m. Lisa says, 8167. Is that McCall's or Butterick? It is McCall's, but I think they might have relabeled it under Butterick. Let me see if I can find it. I think it does have a different pattern envelope, but this is the badger. I really liked it. Linda says, sorry, hun, didn't mean for you to buy them, but maybe just share where you look or what you have found so far. Amazon, honestly. Amazon. The CT company, Coffee and Tea Company, is where I've been getting Dad's ones from Germany. So the licorice one, the coffee and tea one, the herb one. But yeah, Amazon. H.E. says, would love to see the Make 9 adore. I would love to see that Make 9 adore now and then patterns, but hard to find on Instagram. So not seeing many on real bodies. Interesting. I wonder if I could talk to Andre in a way that we could do maybe like a discount code for some of the patterns or something. I'll have to message her and see what she thinks. Nimue says to Alethea, I would say use them afterwards to make aligning the pattern pieces precisely easier. I guess technically either works, but I wouldn't feel good about it. Yeah, that's my thought as well, because you can easily see your notches in a straight fabric, and I trim afterwards. But again, personal preference. Historically Fashion says, I need an 80s striker button-down, 80s style button-down blouse pattern. My daughter wants to be 11 for Halloween. I typically only sew from historical patterns, so I have no idea where to start looking. Right. Bianca from the Closet Historian says that the 80s patterns are very reminiscent of 1940s patterns. Does that help at all? You could just put bigger shoulder pads in. But yeah, Bianca, again, Closet Historian, she says that she buys a lot of 80s fashion because it's very 80s does 40s. And so 40s does 80s with just the correct kind of fabric, like the artistic vibrance from Lady McElroy, for example, could be awesome. Does that help? Anessa says, Sean, we're heading into 30-degree territory here soon. Got minus 30-degree territory here soon. Got to enjoy what I can. That's a good point. I would not enjoy that. Alethea says, thank you, Sean, and in my way. Historically Fashion says, ignore the striker. No idea where that came from. Lisa says, got it. Thanks, Sean. Awesome. Olivia says, I store my fabric in an older entertainment unit, the kind that held the bulky TVs. It's overflowing, but as already had the furniture, didn't have to spend any money. Ah, nice. Historically Fashion says that could work. Thanks. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, just add giant shoulder pads and pick a kind of like 80s inspired fabric. Like I say, artistic vibrance. My let's see if I can find a picture of it. I don't know if you have fabric already, but I thought that was very 80s. So yeah, that would be my Oh, you found a fabric for spot on for one of her shirts already. Which shirt? Which shirt? Where did you get the fabric from? Because I like a lot of 11's wardrobe. Olivia says, that's true. The 80s did the 40s. Laurel says, Vogue just added a couple of 80s patterns to the vintage Vogue line. Yeah. Olivia says to Laurel, that's true, they did. Olivia says to Laurel, Historically Fashion said that fabric is so cute though. Yeah, I made my Shelby dress in it, so it's very 90s style dress with an 80s style fabric. I love it. Carol says to Historically Fashioned, Paper Theory, Olia shirt is totally 80s. A lot of current styles are. Ooh, let's have a look. Paper Theory. Oh, yeah. Shirt. Images? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Boxy and oversized. Definitely. Definitely. I like the seam across the yoke or from this. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Right. Let's have a quick run through these wardrobe patterns and then maybe we'll call it a day because I have been waffling at you guys a lot, haven't I? Shall we start with this Vogue one? Vogue 1643. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 options in it. It's obviously very Gucci. Very Gucci indeed. Historically Fashion says it's the black one she wears in the mall fight from scene 3. Love that. Nimue says, wow, my childhood is now considered vintage. That's a new way to be called out. Yeah, I know. I'm a child of the 70s. I've been vintage for a while. Historically Fashion says, oh my gosh, that's perfect. Yay! Sheila says, Coco's Lost has a very nice blog. I try on the Olia shirt this week. Nice. And Rotten Ralph says to Nimue, I hear you. Yeah, somebody said when I showed you the vintage 70s patterns that they were like, I'm not sure how I feel about vintage patterns from the 70s being called vintage. And it's like, but they are. It's like, yeah. But yeah, no, I love this. I really love this. I like the skirt. I do like the sheath dress a lot. I don't know if we're confident enough to wear it, but I do like this one. This would definitely be fall into the category of this scares me. Let's do it anyway. This one, I mean, I'm not sure these are technically the wardrobe builder ones, but they kind of, in my head, that's why they've ended up in here because sort of. I love all of the ones in here as well. I love this outfit that she's wearing. I would put a belt on with it, but that's just me. I like that a lot as well. That could be a good one. Yeah. Sheila says, never thought the 80s would be in vogue ever again. In vogue again, ever. Yep. Well, Stranger Things is a lot to answer for, doesn't it? Oh, hello, pigeons are getting it on. pigeon porn. He looks very pleased with himself. Okay. Sorry to be so graphic about that, but right in my face, you've got no shame? These are not giant pigeons. They're quite small pigeons. Olivia says to Nimue, that's what I say every time I go to an antique mall and they have toys. I played with as a child there. Olivia says, I always say that the 70s was like 30 years ago. I know, right? And it was 43 years ago. Oh. Nimue says, and my rotary cutter doesn't like the curtains I'm using as toil fodder. Joy. I do not want to cut with scissors. Oh. Sal says, I agree. 70s is now vintage, but a song from the 2000s is not old school. Lol. Lisa says, Shan, stop watching the pigeons. You'll go blind. But it's right there. He's sat himself on the fence. He's all fluffed up. He's looking very pleased with himself. She's just sort of like wandering around. He's preening. No, sorry. Historically Fashion says, haha, yes, they were so not good the first time around. Rotten Rav says, Olivia, and the 90s were just 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, they were. Wolf Dykars Moonwater says, I have different opinions for storage, but does addition of butcher paper really work for protection against fading, staining, bugs, etc.? Downfall, you don't see what you have in for your stash. I have, I'm kind of a bit loath to say this, touch wood, I've never had a problem with bugs or fading. Lots of people, when I first set up this as my fabric storage, were like, oh my gosh, no, you cannot have the fabric out like this. It will get completely sun damaged. But we don't, this part of the room does not get any sun. We're a north facing building with only one window. And yeah, we don't get any sun back here. So it's been here for over a year and a half now, and it's all good. And like I say, the only bugs we have are spiders. And because spiders eat other bugs, I don't chase them away unless they are trying to actively scare me. But yeah. Anessa says, I'm still stuck on thinking the 80s was someone says 20 years ago. Everyone laughs at me. Yeah. Yeah. Olivia says, we had a house next door to us that we couldn't open our kitchen window because of the pigeon porn. And Olivia says to Ralph, right? Like, because the 90s was just 10 years ago. Laurel says, I feel personally attacked when a DJ refers to one of my old favourite REM songs as an oldie. Yeah. Olivia says, we bought the house and tore it down. No more pigeon porn. Sorry. Right, so Butterick 6775, jumpsuit, dress, and a kind of like long line cover up. But again, you could totally make that into top and trousers as well. Yeah, possibly. I do like that. Forgotten about that one. I like it because it's got like a little cutout in the back, but it's still kind of like I could still wear my bra with it. So I do like that one. Not sure why this one is in here, to be honest, but that's because it is a top and a trouser pattern. So it's the 7937. I do think it's very cute, little bra-like pattern with the high-waisted trousers. I want to give that a try at some point as well. I want to try these. I mean, I bought all these, so I want to try them, obviously. This is the same sort of thing. I think I put these in this section because I didn't want to put it in trousers or tops and then forget about the other part of it. So I thought put it in the wardrobe, like the full outfit kind of thing. Again, this would be great for holidays. And those trousers are cute. I'll have to try those soon as well. Mimi G 8177. So a t-shirt with two sleeve options, pair of trousers that are awesome, and then like a long waistcoat or overcoat with it as well. That is really nice. There's actually quite a lot of Mimi G patterns in here. Here we go, 8093. Again, little jacket, top, and trousers combo. I like all of these things. And then the last one is another Mimi G Simplicity 9114. Shirt, dress, top, and trousers. And again, I like all of these things. Maybe I ought to, yeah. Definitely going to try and do things that scare me next year. new to me patterns, and then like maybe one tried and true a month. We say that it might not happen, but something like that would be quite good, because I think that way I would still get my comfort zone of my TNT. So, you know, like mine kind of like, if this all goes horribly wrong, I know I'm going to end up with something I love out of this particular pattern. So I think the one TNT a month would be good. Then one like this scares me would be good. And yeah, because I've written down 12 projects that scare me for next year, one a month. Blocks being one of those, which is going to start in January. So hopefully getting those done would help with the other ones that scare me. Yeah, maybe take on some more elaborate projects next year as well. Some like ones that are going to take more than just a couple of days to get sewn, to maybe go through some of my laces and silk fabrics. So yeah, maybe. Sudie says, hi from Nebraska, US, just getting here and at the tail end. I'm new here. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I am about to call it a day, actually, because I've been waffling at you for 3 hours and 25 minutes, and that's a lot of waffle. But it has been a lot of fun. I've done 0 sewing, but when does, you know, what's new about that? Sal says, be honest, Shan, you have access to an OnlyFans pigeon page. I don't need to. It's right here live. He's still sitting there preening. She's just puffed herself up and is looking like, yeah. They're not the giant pigeons though. They're fairly teeny tiny pigeons. Rotten Rouse says, anything I can't wear support under is a no-go. Same. Somebody was asking why I'm not going to make this dress backless, and it's like, because I have to wear a bra, and because it just makes me feel more comfortable. So yeah. Jennifer's here. Good morning, gorgeous peeps. How is everyone? Very well, thank you, Jennifer. How are you? Francisco says hello to Jennifer. Nimoy says good morning, Jennifer. Olivia says, I store my patterns in the Joanne pattern filing cabinets that I bought. I also have some in boxes because I have too many. I have not had any problems, knock on wood. Nice. Jennifer says, I'm just here as well because I just woke up and the cats let me sleep in. Oh, that was nice of them. Olivia says, only 87 likes. Oh, I've got 97 peeps and 110 likes on my screen. Mim says, have a nice day, Shan. Wishing you a lovely rest of the Sunday. Thank you. And Jennifer says 105 on hers. 114 now. But yes, I am going to call it a day because I have waffled a lot today, and I'm going to go and sit and play with Chi and watch some more Elementary because I'm really enjoying it. I have got, shall I give you kind of an idea of what we've got going on this week? Fingers crossed we should have daily waffles on Tuesday and Thursday. For the Patreon peeps, there should be an early access video on Wednesday, although it might end up getting pushed back to possibly Friday, possibly. But there should be, yeah, it should be out next week at some point. I'd like it to be Wednesday for the Patreon peeps, but I'm not 100% sure if I can achieve that, given that the fabric and the pattern hasn't even been traced yet. Then on Friday we should have the Deer and Doe Forget Me Not dress, maybe the Licorice Dress on Saturday, because I've got the border print jumpsuit on there, but if I do order more of the fabric, I want to do the dress at the same time. And it might take a while for the fabric to come. So, and then obviously the hangout on Sunday. So yeah, there should be some interesting videos coming up this week. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed today's waffle and chat about patterns and all that good stuff. I've had a lot of fun with you guys as ever, and it's been awesome. So I will see you all on Tuesday for some waffle. And now I've got to try and end the string gracefully, which always eludes me. So yes, I hope you enjoyed.